Talk to me about your journey and what this one right here means for you.
I'm very grateful for the career that I've had. Very, very grateful. I'm blessed, bro. I don't take it for granted at all. This game has brought me places I never thought I would go. Has me in rooms I never thought I'd be in, meet people I never thought I would meet. I'm in a house I never really thought I would get, but it's all off of Halo. And I just want to say to people out there, bro, just make sure if you're doing this shit, bro, give a fuck. Actually give a fuck, because I didn't give a fuck, and then when I did, I actually found success. I wish I gave a fuck beforehand. If you're out there thinking about being an aspiring competitor, my number one advice is be a good person and give a fuck. There's a lot of people out there that do not give a fuck. They just be half-assing it for a check, and they are not good people. You gotta make sure you're trying to do it for the people to your left and right.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Tied the Leader, a podcast dedicated to exploring the past, present, and future of Halo, all the incredible people in it. My name is Makowski, and joining me in every single episode is my duo, Eli the Ninja. Our guest this episode truly needs no introduction. With 2 decades in the competitive scene, he's become a cornerstone of the Halo community. He's amassed an incredible 15 LAN victories, including a legacy-defining win at the 2022 Halo World Championship with OpTic Gaming. Over the years, we've witnessed the evolution from a pure gangster to a pure gentleman. All rise for the judge, APG. Brad, welcome to Tied the Leader. How you doing, homie?
I'm doing good. I love that intro. Thank you so much. That was a great intro. But I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Doing good, man. I think we're doing great. We are so excited for this episode. You know, we've had OGs on the show, right? We've had the Walshies, the T-Squareds. But this is probably the most compelling to me because you are an OG along the same likes of the timeline that we just mentioned of guys like T-Squared. I mean, Mount Rushmore of Halo type guys. But you just recently retired from competitive Halo. So when we talk to Walshy, you know, it's been like 10 years since since he was on the sticks. You just recently got done winning that Halo World Championship and now have gone full force into content creation. But before we get into all of that, we like to start off with the intro and with the origin story. So tell us first, how did you get that gamer tag?
My gamer tag back in Halo 2 was capital D, lowercase a, and it was capital G. It was the Gangsta Teddies. Okay, so that's how it was spelled. The spelling or the capitalization matters to me. Okay, so it was the Gangsta Teddies, but I had a 3 in the Teddies, and it was spelled capital T, 3, D, I, Z. And then I think I had a 3 at the end. And the reason I had that was because one of my favorite games is Conquer Live and Reloaded. Conquer's Bad Fur Day.
Oh, yeah.
Conquer Live and Reloaded. So
N64, let's go.
Exactly. So I don't think a lot of people know that, but I love that game. Absolutely love it. If I could go back and play it right now, I probably would. I just haven't even thought about it in so many years, but love that game. So that was my gamer tag. And then, you know how on the Xbox you could look at people's names on the friends list and you could see their clan next to their names. All right. So you guys remember Levi, old Halo 2 semi-pro. So Levi, I looked at his name, and he was in a clan called TRD Pure. His gamer tag was Levi TRD. So I took that, and I made a pure gangster. That's how it came about.
So interesting. Okay.
So you guys would actually know who he is. Most people nowadays would not.
Man, yeah, Levi's a throwback. I don't think I've heard that name in 15 plus years. That just was deep in the memory banks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you made that gamer tag when you're, what, like 11 or 12 years old? Not many people can say they have their original gamer tag. Same story as yours. I made my tag when I was 11 or 12 years old and just stuck with it ever since. But, man, how exciting. Between the three of us, we go back, what, at least 20 years each? So a collective 60 years of Halo history to go over. I'm excited to get right into it. So at what point, though, did you shorten A Pure Gangster to APG? Was it inspired by that clan tag type of idea where you got the 3-letter acronym, or what ultimately determined that?
So I think it was in 2009. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was in 2009 or early 2010. I think it was probably 2009. Sundance messaged me, and he suggested that I should shorten it to APG to just basically be more marketable to brands and sponsors and whatnot, because I was coming up.
It's true. It's true.
And
Yeah.
and
Bro.
basically, I just went with it, and then that's how I came out with APG.
Shout out Sundance. I want to talk about too because we just real quick because we were going through like screenshots. You remember fake titties, of course, from the Halo 2 days.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Sundance forced him to change his tag, and he was just like, "Well, I've been censored, so that's my new tag. I'm censored now."
That's a really good gamer tag, though. I love that flip. I loved that flip. As a legendary
That's actually
flip.
super dope. But dude, man, that's crazy, bro. The parallels, man. It's cool unearthing all of this 20 years later. I had no idea Sundance reached out to you in 2009 with that message.
Yeah.
Because he probably copy pasted it and sent me the exact same thing. He was like,
Really?
"Hey man, like you're on the come up. You just went pro. It's gonna confuse our sponsors though with old man in your name. You're like 19 years old, dude. Like can you just go by Makowski?" So I shortened it to Makowski.
That's crazy, really?
And I normally would never ever do that because it's always like stick to your brand, stick to your guns. But it was Sundance, and as we
Yeah.
all know, if you're an OG from the MLG era, if Sundance reaches out and asks you to do something, you do it.
I had no idea, bro. That's actually so crazy, like you were saying. But I remember him reaching out, and I was like, what, like 13 or 14 at the time. I just started becoming a pro. I just got my first like top 12 placing, I think, in pro bracket. If I'm getting reached out by Sundance, the CEO, the owner of MLG, I'm gonna be like, all right, whatever you say, I'm gonna do. Especially since I'm starting to get into those spaces, I'm going to take his advice.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yep.
Now, I know we're talking about 2009. We're going to rewind the timeline a little bit to get into your like very early beginnings. So I know you just talked about Conker's Bad Fur Day. I'm going to go out on a whim and say that you also probably played GoldenEye back then. Was that one of your first FPS titles?
Yeah, I did. I didn't play it like that much, but I did play GoldenEye. Like I went back and got an N64. Like I think I played Live and Reloaded before I played Bad Fur Day. You know what I'm saying? Once I got Halo 2, that's just when I got straight addicted to Halo. But I used to be a little bit of a gamer.
I guess you skipped Halo 1 and then got Halo 2 because of Xbox Live maybe and started like playing online. Is that when you realized you were starting to get pretty good?
Yeah, Halo 1, I couldn't get past like the second or first mission, like with the flood, and I just kind of gave up. And I was way too young to kind of just try even harder. So I was just still just being a gamer. Like I didn't even know about MLG at all until I think the start of Halo 2, or I think the end of the first season of Halo 2, when I saw, I think, Carbon playing in the finals at, I think, one of the national championships or something like that. And I saw it like on the front page of MLG. And it was like in 480p. You could buy the $4 or $5 subscription to get better quality. That's when I first got introduced.
So you're talking about first time that you heard of MLG. And of course, I always go through the wiki. I see your first entry on your wiki is MLG Chicago 2006. I was at this event too. You were just 11 years old. Your teammates are listed as Chapter X, Gifu, and Zero Wolf, who I've never heard of any of these guys, by the way. How did you get linked up with these guys as we take a look at the placings here?
Well, I know probably why it doesn't show this, but my first event actually is Dallas 2006.
Okay.
And I just went for just straight free for all. I had a team. Like on Saturday morning, I was just showing up, and they said, like, I saw some people in line. They said they needed a fourth. I think one of the people that's still around, his name was Automatic. I think he's still around, like in some Twitch chat. Shout out to him. One of the people that I met on the first day of the event, Timeliest Brute. You guys will know him.
Of course, yeah.
I was playing with him in all my, all my FFA rounds up until I think the second to last round of AM. So I did pretty well for my first event. My mom went with me. My parents supported me. And I met Clutch. Clutch has been my friend since my very first event, like my very, very first event. Like I literally went up to him after I had like a event hot dog, the little concessions outside the event, the balls, paws, the energy drink, like that was around. That was massive back then. Like I literally just went up to Wes and I was like, hey, can I sit with you? Because I knew him from online. And then we just, we've been friends ever since. So shout out to Wes, one of my, literally a day one.
That's amazing, dude.
Yeah, it really is. Like, and I'm happy to still have him around, especially since, we go so far back. And so this team, I know that Zero Wolf, he was like my duo back then. Like I forgot how we met, but he was just like straight my duo. We would play matchmaking, we would play doubles, like we would wait for each other to get offline get online, after school. Like he would, his parents were really strict on him to do his homework, and he's a very, very smart, very intelligent. He's still around. He might be in some of your guys' Twitch chats. EJ is awesome. Shout out to him. I'm very glad that I could.
That's him.
Yeah, that's him.
Wait.
You know him. Yeah. He might be in your Twitch
Yeah,
chat.
what?
Yeah,
Wow.
EJ is awesome. So his name is EJ, and he just basically changed his name, but he's been around forever. He was literally my duo, and then Chapter X, I think he was on a different team or something like that, and then Jiffu was just like another one of my friends we met online. We went to this event. We didn't do too bad. You know what I'm saying? We didn't do too bad. As you see, it's like top 48. It's not bad for a first or second event. You know what I'm saying? Not bad.
You can see Clutch also got top 48 at this event. Some of these other names are straight throwbacks, man. We see Ice Vein and Mud Vein. Me and Best Man were teaming together. We got top 24. You can see towards the top. By the way, RIP Quick Death. He's no longer with us, fortunately. His gamer tag came to fruition, I guess. Brad Fox. Dude, he was actually really good back then. And of course, talent, dude, Greg from the early days, who you would later team with as well. So it's so cool to see just like the humble beginnings of all of us. And then like later on to see where everybody's at. I don't know. I love to see that.
Yeah, it is.
It's crazy looking at this list because there's some legends that were placed in the top 48, 32, and 24 category. But I think even crazier than looking back at this list is a photo that is just, I feel like, just stapled in Halo lore. I know you've probably seen it. You've got an emote of it in your stream. You remember this moment? I mean, do I even need to ask?
I do remember it. I didn't know what was going on. Like, I do remember. I was just literally watching. I remember what was like the match and everything like that was going crazy. But I was like, dude, what the hell is happening?
In Chicago, the one-time infinite gap between the top 3 teams and the rest of the league closed at lightning speed. As underdogs, Shook One Gaming and Storm Ventures knocked off second-ranked Straight Rippin' and third-ranked Team Carbon early. But for Shook One Gaming, the thrill of victory would be short-lived.
That's genuinely. I do remember this. Like, there's very few things I remember like from way back in the day, but I do remember this.
This was Shook One upsetting Straight Rippin', I think, to get to winner semifinals. And one of the most insane upsets of the time. And of course, Dark Vegito just showing his ass to Straight Rippin'. I mean, it doesn't get much more legendary to that.
It's crazy to look back and just see like young me in this. It's actually crazy. And I'm just like, that's actually hilarious.
It looks almost like a coming of age moment for you. Like, you look like you're like, oh wow, like this is above my I feel like an adult at this rate. I mean, this is like X-rated for me. I'm just 12.
Bro, I was confused, bro. I told you, I'm telling you, I do remember this. I was genuinely confused. I remember the match, but I was like, bro, what is happening? Like, there's so much shit talk that's happening. Like, all these people are crowded like around. I had a great seat though. I had a great seat.
That's amazing, bro.
Yeah. That's just, man, it's so crazy. You know, the focus of that photo is Dark Vegito, but right behind his ass crack is
It makes me think of like like what's that David Attenborough, like the voice of nature, but he's like narrating like, and little did they know that the man in the background would become one of the most legendary gamers of all time. Like, it just slowly zooms in on APG. Oh man.
Not surprised to hear you say that this is a moment that you'll probably never forget.
No, never.
If we went through every single part of your wiki, we'd be here for 10 hours. So we're gonna mostly go through the highlights. Fun fact though, I did some quick math for you. If you take your first tournament result and then subtract the dates with the most recent one, it's 6,642 days between your first result and your last result, which represents over 60% of your life. I did the math on that too. But we're going to go ahead and speed through some of this. So you finish out Halo 2, you're still like getting your feet under you. You go into Halo 3, start out slow, but then in Meadowlands 2009 was your first top 12 finish, which was alongside Ares, Destin, and Gregor. This was your first top 16 placing in 4v4, which is definitely a milestone for like young up-and-coming competitors. What did this mean for you at the time?
That was like a really big moment for me. Here, I'm gonna go back real quick, and I don't want to yap too long on it. So, like in Halo 2, I was an FFA kid. You know what I'm saying? So
How we all met.
yeah. So the last two events, Chicago 07 and Orlando 07, I got pro free for all, and I got 24th at Chicago 07. I remember I was so happy, and I remember I waited in the computer lab at my school after school just so I could see my point of view in the FFA VOD. You know how they put up individual point of views?
Yep.
I would just literally wait, like, and it finally came out. I got kicked out because it was like it described as violent. So I went home, watched it. I like over and over and over again, even though I didn't do that well. Like I still did well, but I got 24, so there wasn't that much VOD of me. But Orlando, I got 9th, and I was like a few kills away from top 8, and that would have been like my first breakthrough. But I was like kind of getting my name out there in Halo 2, but I was just known as the FFA kid because I was young. People would just say I would run around, slay. I didn't have any like brains or anything like that. So I got top 32 in 4s also, but I was teaming with like a Bible salesman, Whirl, or excuse me, I think Whirl, and I forgot the last person on our team, but they were just some Florida locals, but still was a good placing for back then. You know, top 32 in Halo 2.
2007, you would have been 12 years old, right? At those events?
Yeah, I was.
That's insane, bro.
This is when I really started to kind of understand that I'm a good Halo player. You feel me? So, how it was back then is there was round robin. You played 4 rounds, and it was against different players every round. You would get points based on what placing that you would get in the free for all. So top 4, you would have the best points, and then if you got under that, it wouldn't be good at all. And you also needed top 4 to advance from each free for all in AM bracket to pro bracket. So I think my placings going into the last round of round robin were like 1st, 3rd, and like 2nd. I was doing really well. I was like, I won one of them. I was shitting. I can curse on here, right?
Yeah, of course.
I was shitting. Bro, I was a 12-year-old, but I was shitting, bro. I remember like Nighty Night, he was watching me. I was shitting. I was super close, bro. Super close. And I remember I was so sad because the last free-for-all that I played, I got like 5th or 6th, bro. I was so devastated, bro. I was devastated. It was on
It's one of those
stage,
games
too.
you just like can't get any kills. Like people keep stealing kills and things are going wrong.
Because they called out my placing in the free for all, like in total, and I was in like 5th or some shit. I was right there. I just needed to do well in this last FFA. I would have been in the top 8, and then I just bombed out, bro. I just couldn't get it going. I was so sad. And they called out who was in the top 8 after that, and I remember I just didn't hear my name. I just stormed out the venue. I remember Best Man, he would tell me, like, he's like, yeah, I saw you. Like, I think I cried too, like rightfully so.
Yep.
You know, I'm a young kid. But I just almost accomplished a crazy goal.
I was there too because I was teaming with Best Man at that event. So I'm pretty sure we interacted. And I want to say what happened to you. This is the way I remember it. Was they had the live update of the leaderboard, and originally they had your name in the top 8, but then I think they recalculated it and realized that they had accidentally given you like 1 too many points. So then afterwards it put you down to 9th. And I think that's what you were upset about. You were like, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
Like you thought that you were supposed to be in the top 8. So I remember that, bro.
Bro, I was so close. Bro, that's crazy that you know.
Yeah, I remember that, bro.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
Pull this list back up. Yeah, because see, I was teaming with Best Man. Best Man got there. He did really well. I think this was one of his best FFA performances.
Bro,
Hokum, by the way, is now like the head of YouTube, or like he's insanely wealthy because he's a big name. He's like head of YouTube gaming, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Little Talent would later become, what was his new tag?
Contra.
Contra, that's right.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that either.
Yep. A Little Poison is there, who was like 8 years old or something at this time.
Wow. He probably stole some shine from you because he was always the guy that was considered like, wow, the prodigy. But you were right around there in age. But maybe being a few years younger and a few points above in terms of his 4v4 results, man, that's kind of crazy to think of the crossroads there. But you obviously outlasted him with a 2-decade career in Halo. Speaking of your career, you talked earlier on about how your mom went with you to these events. Obviously, you wouldn't have been able to go, period, if it weren't for your mom. But talk to us about how important family was in enabling you to chase this dream.
So, you know, number one, shout out to my entire family, my mom, dad, aunts, uncles, like everybody, cousins. I'm an only child, and I've been spoiled since I was, you know, just as I would say, like, who knows how young. You know, my parents always have spoiled me. You know, my mom wasn't even supposed to be able to have kids, so I think that since they were able to, you know, I'm like a miracle child to them. So I think since that they just, you know, decided to spoil me, and they had, like I said, I had all the game systems, everything. So, you know, she went with me to tournaments, and she went with me up until I was 16. She always supported me in what I was doing. They just wanted, like, especially as I get older too, they supported me. They just, you know, wanted me to make sure I had like a backup plan with school. But my parents and my family is everything to me. You know, my favorite thing about, my whole career is just them being at Worlds, seeing me do what I do. They were happy
Wow.
to be able to come to a tournament again after so many years, and they got to see me win it all. So that's like what means the most to me, like in my career, not just winning Worlds, but having my family there to see me accomplish it. And it's a blessing. It's a blessing, and I'm lucky to have a family that is so supportive of me and that supported me at such a young age, going with me to these tournaments and helping me do this, because I honestly was just going to tournaments for fun, I'm just playing Halo. I didn't really have the mindset of that I wanted to be a professional until
Wow.
it kind of happened. I never thought to myself like, yo, I want to be a pro. I never I was too young to really look up to players. I love basketball. I looked up to basketball players. I played basketball like in middle school. I became a professional when I got to high school, so I didn't play basketball in high school, but I I didn't know what good Halo was. I didn't know how to analyze good Halo or look at Halo in a certain way. I was just running around killing people. And then it kind of clicked in my head as I got older, like, oh, this is how you play Halo. And I'll talk about that later. But Aries helped me with that, and I'll give him a shout out later on.
Wow.
But yeah, my family has been they're there for me always, and they're my greatest support system.
Now, speaking of Aries, going into Halo 3, you did all right in the first year. I think a lot of like top 24 finishes. And then in 2009, you get your first top 12 finish, which was actually even your first top 16, which back then was considered pro. And that was with Aries, Destin, and Gregor. So this was probably a huge milestone for you. What did this mean for you at the time? And how much did Aries have a piece in that?
Like before Meadowlands, I was teaming with Destin. Destin was my duo. You guys, you will see that in my career, I've teamed with Destin a lot. He was one of my homies. Shout out to Ryan. I hope he's doing well. That team, we were doing well in the online clubs. I think there was like a GB Christmas tourney. We won or got like top 2. We were doing really well online. Meadowlands 2009. And this is by God's grace, bro. This is by God's grace. We're playing in AM bracket, and we lose to Virtuosity, if you guys remember them. Like Painless. I forgot the other people on the team, but Virtuosity. We lost to them in AM bracket. They were a great team. They were a great team back then, and they were known as being a top AM team. So we make it out of AM bracket through losers, though. All right, this is my first time making it out of AM bracket in Halo 3. All right, but this event was weird. This event didn't go like top 32 to top 24 or top 24 to top 16. It went by 4s. So it went from top 32 to top 28. Like that's how one match was. So we had to play one match from top 32 to top 28, top 28 to top 24, top 24 to top 20, 20 to top 16, top 16 to top 12. Like that, there was a lot of series compared to like right now. Yeah, you would think like it because beforehand it was just top 32, top 24, top 16, top 16, top 12, and etc. But since we are in losers bracket, we're playing Low Poison. I can't remember the entire team.
You said Little Poison, Arcanum, Popcorn, and Homicide. Okay.
Yes, we're playing them. Okay. Now we are getting smacked. We're getting smacked by them. Okay. We're down 0-2 in the series. I'm thinking to myself, I'm going home. I'm already mentally checked out. All right. We're down on Construct King. I remember it like it was yesterday. All right. It's Construct King. I'm on the street shooting somebody down low in the hill. They're just getting more and more time. All right. Our comms are dying. A ref comes out of my peripheral. He says to us, guys, stop the game. He tells us that we're playing the wrong team.
What? They had their bracket messed up? I mean, it was a complicated bracket, so it's probably easier to mess up.
Yes. He tells us that we're playing the wrong team. We go on to make that top 12 run afterwards.
Who did you end up playing instead? Do you remember?
I know we played Nickel 9's team.
Nocturnal, Colonel, Dursky, and Tuss.
Yeah, we played them.
Yep.
Did you guys beat us? I have a memory of a tournament where I think you beat my team for like top 12, and it was the first time that you had outplaced me, and I was like, I was frustrated because at the time I thought I was better, whatever.
Were you on Darkest Hour?
No, I was Anti-Gravity. It was me, Severance, Mudvayne, and Lil Seb.
No, I don't think it was that. I don't think it was that event.
Wasn't that team? Okay.
No, because I think we played Darkest Hour for top 12. I remember that event. Played them for top 12. And then we played, I think, like Nated and Karma's team. I forgot who was on that roster, but
Best Man and Defy.
Yeah, and we just got smacked by them. But I do remember we played Nickel Nine's team. I can't remember the whole bracket, but we did make that run because like we restarted the whole series. Like it was God's blessing, bro. And then we
Yeah,
made the
that-
top 12 run. Like you don't hear that.
It doesn't
You don't hear
happen.
that happen. No, not
No.
at all. That was literally like that right then and there. That's why I was like, wow, this must be meant to be. I wish we could find the bracket, but I wish I could remember who we played.
Oh,
But-
here. Wait,
What?
it's hard to read though because the names are so weird. You guys were High Society, so that's your
Yeah.
run.
So Shady Halo Kids.
Flat is
Flatline.
Flatline. That's
that's-
Dursky and them.
Yeah.
Nickel
then-
Nine's team.
Yeah, and then I think Shady Halo Kid was like Houdini. I forgot who else, but that was Houdini's team. And
Yep.
then we played Dynasty.
The Dynasty, that was Destin Squad, wasn't it?
Was it?
It was
No, no,
Assault,
our team.
Thuggish Killa, Enable, and Trickster Samurai.
Bro.
Oh, wow.
That's true, bro. I forgot about Trick. You're right, bro. Oh my god, you guys got everything. I love this shit, bro. I love this shit. Bro, I haven't heard of these days in forever. I'm so glad that you guys are reminding me. Bro, I do remember that, bro. That series was huge. That series was huge because like
Bro.
that was our top 16. Like that was us becoming a pro team, and that was them. They started in pro bracket. Like they were already in pro bracket. So I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that was like a really, really big moment
Oh.
for us. But
Yeah, Dynasty was a behemoth of a squad, so that's an insane win in lower round 4. And man, what a run through champ bracket! You guys started in lower round 1, and look at the string of wins, man. And I think Darkest Hour, that would have been Talent Squad, and I think Mad Mac, a couple other
Talent,
guys.
Twilight.
Actually, Talent wasn't on that team. It was Twilight,
Oh.
Call Me God, Art of War, and Frosty. Georgie Porgy
Wow.
Frosty.
wow, that's still a good team. That's like
Yeah.
that's like a top 12, top 6, like top 8 team actually. Like that's a really
Yeah.
good team. Bro, that's crazy. You found this, bro. I'm so happy, man. Like you can actually see, you can see the run, bro. You can see like this was the first. This was like the first and only event where I've seen the bracket actually be like that. You know, like
So
go by
weird,
fours. Yeah, like you had like it's an easy way to catch fire, but you can see like 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 3-1, 3-1. Like we
Wow.
were doing really well. Like we
What's
were
funny
catching fire.
about this is you guys were like the Grim Reaper, bro, because all these teams fell from the winner side and then played you and immediately lost. Like you can see because the little down arrow means they just lost in winners and then you just beat them in losers. They just lost in winners. Every single one of those teams.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I'm so happy, bro. So happy. But
And
yeah,
you guys
that-
get stopped by Triggers Down, who ended up winning the event, by the way. So it's like you can't even feel that bad about losing.
Yeah, they beat Carbon in Final Boss. Like, look at that's it, bro.
Yeah, they ended up winning the tournament. Yeah.
like I'll take some credit for that. I'll take some credit. I'm just playing.
Warmed
I'm
him
just
up.
playing. Yeah, exactly. But no, this was like a really, really cool event to me. Just because of the way we did it. I'm 14 at the time. Like when that type of shit happens, I'm like, oh wow, this is insane. And you're not even thinking about it twice when you're that young. You're just playing Halo. Like you're just going to the next. Like you get a breath of fresh air. You know what I'm saying? So crazy. Like not even coincidence, just occurrence. And that helped me become, I guess, a professional. So we got top 12 that event. I remember we got an MLG interview. Again, it was on the front page, right? And I remember I was super happy. Like we did it, I think online or something like that, or we did it in one of the back rooms or something like that. Like all 4 of us on the front page of MLG. So I just started high school, and I didn't know anybody really in my high school besides one girl, like a family friend. So I sat at the front of the class. I didn't really talk to nobody yet because, again, I just started my freshman year just playing Halo. I'd been playing since Halo 2. I went to a private school back in like my elementary to middle school. And the kids there, they knew I played Halo 2 and everything. You know what I'm saying? They knew me as the person that played Halo 2. But in high school, I didn't know anybody. And I thought it was like nerdy. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's not perceived now as what it was back then. So I really didn't want to tell anybody, and I kept that on the low.
I kept it a secret too. Yeah, that makes sense.
And the interview gets posted online. And this is back when AOL Instant Messenger was a thing. And
Wow.
somebody messages me on AIM that night that it released. And they say, yo, my name is, I think his name was Adam. Says, yo, my name is Adam. I'm in your biology class. Congrats on the MLG Pro Circuit. And I was like, oh shit. I said, yo, can you kind of keep this on, like, you know, can you keep this on the low? Keep this on the DL. I don't want most people to know this. I don't want to tell people. He said, yeah, I got you. No problem. The very next day, I shit you not, he goes to the front, turned his paper in. I'm just writing my stuff down. And he goes, "A pure gangster." He just says my gamer tag out loud, just in front of the whole class. And I'm just like, I'm just shaking. I'm shaking after that. I'm like, what did he just say? Because I'm like 14. Why is my gamer tag A pure gangster? So I'm just like, and then after that, he started telling everybody. And that's how people kind of started to know who I was because he started to get my name out there, which looking back on it, I'm kind of happy. I should have leaned more into it. I should definitely lean more into it. But I got known as the person that's really good at Halo around school because of that interview and that person going around and telling everybody.
No, I definitely think all three of us can empathize with that. Like, all right, like this is pretty cool. I'm like one of the best Halo players in the world, but like, do I want to like lose out on the opportunity to like go to prom or like get stuffed in a locker by the football team because I'm like some super Halo nerd? So
I don't want to derail too much because I feel like we're already like yapping a lot, but what happened to me was I was pretty good, obviously, like 2006, 2007. Then Halo 3, I was getting top 8. And the local newspaper, one of my classmates, his like stepdad worked at the newspaper. And he told him, hey, you should do an article about my friend. And I was trying to keep it low key. And then I come into class one day after they interview me, and the teacher has laminated on the chalkboard this like 3-page spread the local newspaper did on me. And it's like Eli the Ninja, me like wearing armor. Like they photoshopped me wearing Master Chief armor on it and shit.
It's a sick picture.
I was just like, bro, like I was so embarrassed because I wasn't telling anybody about it. But then one of the girls in the class ended up adding me on MySpace, and she's like, yo, I like Halo 2 also. She ended up becoming my first girlfriend. And at the time, I thought she was like way out of my league. She's like super hot girl from Norway. I'm like, there's no way this girl's ever going to talk to me.
Bro, that's so cool. That's like one of the best stories I've heard. I'm so happy to tell that story, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. You probably got some
wild, right?
Yeah, you're probably thinking you're embarrassed, and then this girl comes and messages you, and you're like, oh shit, like you like Halo 2?
Yeah, it completely changed my framing on the whole thing because I like tried to keep it hidden, and then it like, holy crap, now I have the hottest girl in the classroom wants to be my girlfriend. Like, what is going on?
Like that, bro. I'm happy. I'm very happy. Glad we all got a story like that.
And we're back. It's MLG Championship Sunday. We're getting ready for the losers bracket finals between our 3rd-seeded final boss and the 5th-seeded Believe the Hype.
Getting back onto the timeline, the rest of 2009, you would keep improving, finishing top 6 and top 4. That's an incredible leap from top 12, really is. But your first podium finish wouldn't come until MLG Columbus 2010, alongside one of your now best friends, Maniac, as well as Destin, who you mentioned earlier, and Demon D on that Believe the Hype roster. And we've actually found some footage that we've unearthed from that event. APG, take a look and provide some live commentary. What are you thinking right now in the moment here about 20 years later?
Guys, Believe the Hype. They're led by Maniac. Of course, you have Demon D, the incredible Slayer. He has one of the best snipers in the league. A pure gangster. I know he is your favorite player on this team to watch, D-Mac. And, of course, Destin, the always incredible support player. He will be rounding out that roster. And now we got to take a look at the
thing is, us against the top 2 teams, we would never be able to really put up a fight. We would just do well against everybody else. And Nick would say the same. Because we were a good top 3 team. Like, we were a good 3rd place team. But we could not beat Final Boss and I think TD at the time. Because Straight was like a top 8-ish roster at this point. They weren't the top 3 roster or top 2 roster from previous year, or even the winning roster from the previous year. But this event, we had beat SQ, we beat Warriors, and I think that was like, or those were the most notable teams or rosters that we did beat, because this event is when Maniac had his controller down, and he basically shit-talked Warriors, stood up, said, you suck, but he used the F word. I'm not going to say it that many times. He was like, you effing suck, you effing suck, you effing suck, and you effing suck. And then he got 4 technicals, which made him have to put his controller down.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so he had to put his controller down for the first minute in Onslaught Flag against Status Quo. And that's a map where you don't want to have your controller down because the other team can just run it up on you really easy. And they went up 4-0 on us. You know, it was a slaughter at first. I mean, we're just getting spawn killed. You can't
It's
do anything.
impossible, yeah.
Yes, especially if they're just leaving him on one spawn, or they kill him. He's just sitting there. They know where we're gonna spawn, and so he picks up the controller, and we actually win that game 5-4.
No shot.
Yes, we win that game 5-4, and we win that series in game 5. I think we won the Warriors series in game 5 and the SQ series in game 5. Maniac was going off too. He'll tell you that was one of the best series that he's played. He's going absolutely crazy. But we were a really good team. We should have had a top 4 placing at the previous event too. Orlando, we got top 6. Kind of choked against Final Boss at the time. I believe Tots was on FB. We just blew it. We were a really good team. Like, this is, you know, the start of BTH, and like I was very happy to be on this team. I think that we could have done a lot better if we stuck together. But I think that but Maniac and Demon D went a different route after this. But this is like the start of, like, you know, me getting more recognition in Halo 3.
We're gonna stay on board with APG. His battle rifle is strong to start this game, D.
Yeah, and it's always strong. That's why he was plus 71 in Orlando. That's why he's been playing so well this event. APG is a very good Slayer.
And we got APG working with Maniac. You know, earlier...
What do you think made you and Maniac such good teammates back then, and also now good teammates as content creators for OpTic?
I think just our friendship. So I knew Nick since Halo 2. I knew Nick, Aries, Gregor, all these people since Halo 2. So at that point, we had already been friends for like 3 or so years, you know. Before that event, we also got a LAN. We landed against Straight Rippin', like an actual in-house LAN at the Straight House in Orlando, I believe. So that was really dope. So we just had the same interests, same music tastes. And that when you have that type of cohesion and chemistry outside of the game, it's going to bleed into in-game. You know, you need that type of friendship with your teammates, or else it's just going to be looked at as work, and it's just going to be, you know, you're playing with your coworkers. It's not going to be, you're not going to have fun. And so we've just been friends for so many years, and I think that ties into it heavily. And you think about Nick's relationship with Demon D. They had been best friends for years. They had just won Nats together. And then Destin and we had just been teaming the year before. We have that dual chemistry. So just all in all, we're all just good friends. Like, I remember us would just be hanging out. We would just be, I'm not gonna say what we'd be doing, but we'd just be hanging out with each other, and it would just be genuine, you know, be authentic. So I think that if you're friends with your teammates like that outside the game, it's going to help you in game.
Chemistry, cohesion, and communication, man. If you got those 3 things and you are locked in as a teammate, regardless of what you're pursuing.
And we are going to listen in with this BTH squad. Let's crank up the 840s.
Watch smaller. These types up when he spawn. There, there's. He's watching our spawn. We're green. We're green dead. No one's coming. I'm telling Bradley. I got shot somewhere else. I'm ready.
You capped off Halo 3 with a really strong finish and rolled right into Halo Reach with some serious momentum, securing the first LAN win of your career in MLG Raleigh 2011 alongside Lethal, Ryanoob, and Blaze. They were all still pretty early in their careers. And you guys were the 13th seed going into it. I mean, that's like one of the lowest seeded wins that we've probably ever seen in Halo history. But it was even more improbable because of the losers bracket run you made to defeat the back-to-back champions. That event was insane. What moment sticks with you as we take a look back at the VOD?
And it looks like this one is just going to go back and forth all the way to the end. 32-29, still a 3-kill lead for Infamous.
I'll start from the beginning. All right. We were top 12. So Sunday, it would be top 12 on. For anybody watching that doesn't know about the old days. I remember Saturday night, TJ and we would just go out all night, like just playing 2s, playing 8s, whatever. TJ and I would just be late night lurkers, okay? We did money 2v2s versus the Suds all night, bro. We made like 2 or like 2 to 400 a piece, okay? We made some bread. It was a successful night. And our sponsor at the time, the Hangout, shout out to Lee, was a LAN center in Michigan that TJ knew because he was from Michigan, and they would always get like the penthouse suite, and I'm not capping at all. They would have the penthouse suite, like multiple rooms and everything for everybody. Our friends would come and stay with us, and et cetera, et cetera. So I remember we got back into the room, like our whole team was staying in there. We got into the room, and we woke Blaze up, and it's like 6 or 7 a.m. at this point. I think it's very, very early. Blaze turns to us and says, "If we don't get at least top 6 tomorrow, I'm leaving you guys."
Damn.
And then TJ and I just looked at each other like, we're young at this time. We're still young. We're still young. Like I think we're 17 at this point, 17 or 16. And we just turned to each other and we're like, oh, okay. Well, we gotta turn up. I don't think we got any sleep. We barely got any sleep that night. Barely any sleep.
Wow.
Like a few hours. And then we start that day. I forgot who we were playing. I think Darkest Hour. And then we made that losers bracket run, and we at least got top 6, and then we won the tournament. I remember I got the last kill too.
45 to 44. Here comes the flank. Blaze versus 3 members, so he has shoved down 45-45. Instinct ties it up with 5 kills to go. We take our screen to Roy. He has full shield. He's getting help from I Got Your Pistol. 47 to 46 though is a really good new. Picks up a clutch double kill near the end. He's chasing down a third. Roy across the map trying to find Noob and Blaze. Blaze is taking him out, and he will go down 49 to 47, and APG finishes the double to win Raleigh.
Dude, that's a great shot. That's a sick shot.
Was T Squared coaching you?
That's cheeky Rob. Rob.
He looks kind of like T Squared. My bad.
Yeah. No, I actually got MVP this event.
Yeah, oh my God, you not only top fragged, but yeah, by a wide margin, and you kept the death count pretty
One
low.
assist,
So
though. He was cleaning up.
Yeah, that's a nod.
Hey, I'll take it.
nod.
I'll take it.
APG went +4, but let's take a look at our tournament winners. Give it up for Infamous.
I did get MVP for that tournament. Blaze was going absolutely insane.
Blaze was crazy that event. Like seriously, some of the best Halo I've ever seen in my life was Blaze.
His reach era was just, I think honestly, like some forgotten Halo history that doesn't get enough shine, because he truly was like ogre level of dominant at Halo Reach as an individual, and then he had some team success as well. But going back to the family ties, this is your first win. You took home $5,000. I mean, what was your family's reaction like when you got home from this event?
They were just happy. They were proud. They just wanted me to keep going. My family, like whenever I do well in this, like they want me to keep on doing what I'm doing. So they just, they supported me even further. I'm pretty sure I like upgraded my setup. They just want to make sure I did well in school as well. But they were very, very proud. They've always been very proud of me just in all my successful moments in Halo.
Now we kind of arrive into the Halo 4 era, where you'd also be top 4 every event with 2 first place finishes. But then you rejoin Maniac, Lethal, and Formal, and you guys win the MCC Launch Invitational in Halo 2 Anniversary.
What's up, me? Square. One shot, Square. Get up the portal. Come on, guys. We have to stay alive. I got 2. Nice shot, Come in weak. Come in, yes. 2 shots out. Grab us up. One shot. I need bottom middle or something. I didn't get him. There you have it right there, the list.
What was this event like? Because what I remember from the MCC launch was it was broken, like completely broken on release, like not even playable for a month or 2. But you guys had this tournament. So what do you remember from this tournament?
There's 8 people that got a captain invite or captain spot. Formal was one of those 8 people. Formal asked TJ, Nick, and I. We got a little warm-up day, and we were doing pretty well. We had a first-round matchup against Gandhi's team. It was like Gandhi, Maven, Elitist, and I forgot the 4th. We smacked them.
Shout out to Sammy.
Yeah, shout out to Sammy, because he actually became our coach afterwards.
Oh, okay.
For the 50-41 victory and the 2-0 to believe the hype. That is going to net them a spot in the finals, contending for $20,000.
When they show us, you'll see Sammy. He started coaching us throughout the weekend because Mr. X was our coach for that weekend, okay?
Wow.
Mr.
Yeah,
X,
that is Sammy.
Yeah.
Mr. X was our coach for the weekend, but since we, we're doing well, and we didn't have jerseys, they wanted us to wear the ESL shirts, and I forgot who he was working with at the time. It might have been UMG or MLG or somebody like that, so he couldn't wear the shirt because it was conflict of interest. So Sammy stepped in and he started coaching us throughout the entire tournament.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So we made like a great losers run. I remember we played, who was it? Heinz, World 2, Snakebite, Tuger. Yeah, that was their team.
Dude, your memory is crazy. That is their team, yeah.
So we played them because I remember they were a nasty team. Like they were the only practice that people were getting before this was like Halo 2 Vista on their PCs, and I just had a little HP laptop. I'm in school at the time. I just have a little HP laptop. I plug my controller in. It's terrible. Okay, I'm getting
It's so bad.
We played it one time. I was doing so bad. We played it against them. I think Native was on their team before. They let go of Native and they picked up Hines. And we played them. I was getting ran. I thought that's why when we played them at the event, I was like, all right, this is our first tough matchup. We beat them in game 3, I believe. I think there was best of 3s until the finals or something like that. That first series against Gandhi and them, since we got a good series, we got a warm-up series, under our belt, that helped us really get acclimated with the game, because it is a pre-release game. We hadn't played it until we sat down at the event. The only person on our team that had played it was TJ. But we got to the finals, and that's when we were like, all right, let's fucking do this. You know what I'm saying? Even after Saturday night, we were like, all right, let's fucking do this. Like, we're in a good spot. We can actually win this, because we were genuinely going there just to have some fun. But it was actually a blessing that we showed up and we were actually doing incredible. I'm glad that that was a good kind of send-off for Formal. He was on Envy, I think, at the time, too. He was on Envy at the time. And I think he just won a COD event. Came to the Halo event, won that, and then went back to COD and was doing well. And then he got on OpTic. But that was, the finals, too, was crazy. I think we had to win 2 series. And it was like a grueler. That team was actually nasty. We have Roy, who's not missing a bullet. You guys know Roy. Squared was doing extremely well that tournament, too. Ryan Noob. And who was the 4th?
Straight Sick,
and he's not missing a bullet either, too. That was
Corey
really
doesn't miss ever.
Yeah, that was a really good put together, a really well put together team. And I think after that, that's when they picked up Pete Tizype and whatnot. But I was very, very happy with that tournament win. More happy than you think. Afterwards, we got to stay out in LA. It was since it's the release of MCC, I think that MCC released that Sunday night, right after the tournament was done. And we were
kind of released.
Yeah, kind of. It was supposed to.
Yeah. Now, I'm actually going to jump off the run sheet here, and I'm just trying to connect the dots of the narrative, because that's why we do this. Was this your first time teaming with Formal at an event or winning with Matt?
Winning, yes, but not playing. We played in Reach.
And Halo 4 as well.
Yeah, Reach and Halo 4. We played the No Bloom No Sprint event, and we got 3rd. We're supposed to at least make the finals. I'm not gonna lie. We were a really good team. That team that we had was Matt, Hines, Cloud. And I. Yeah.
Yep.
And we were competing with Instinct. We were tying scrims with them. This is the God Squad still. And we just kind of blew it at the event against SQ. And then we went to Halo 4, played the Halo 4, the first Halo 4 event. Warriors won that, won the next one, and then I got let go, and then that's when they picked up Ola. That was the first time was in Halo Reach.
The reason I ask that is because we had Matt on the podcast. He was one of our first guests. And I always remember the OpTic Gaming team change when Pistola ultimately retired was such a, almost not only monumental, but almost borderline emotional moment for the Halo community. And I recall when Matt was on the podcast with us, he mentioned being with you guys. I think you guys were enjoying maybe Black and Mild on an apartment patio. And Formal said it just so matter of fact. It's I wanted Brad on the team. And I thought that was really interesting. I mean, you and Pistola, ultimately in my eyes, both top 10 all-time Halo players. But he was so sure that he wanted to team with you and take Pistola's spot. Walk me back through that moment on the balcony. And what was that like to have Matt's confidence that he's it's not even a question. I want to team with Brad. Was it because of the previous success you guys had at the event that we just watched? You guys had a friendship before this. Give us some more insight into what I think is one of the most pivotal moments in Halo history with Pistola retiring.
You're funny with the Black and Mild. That's funny. So in the beginning of Halo Infinite, I was going to the Hex quarters in Frisco every day to stream everything. And the last people in the Hex quarters that would be there every single night before I go home would be Matt, Dashy, and I. We would be the last one standing. So I would always be hanging out with Matt, smoking a Black and Mild after we'd be done streaming, done playing. Matt scrimming with his team, whoever, SSG at the time, whoever it may be. I'm streaming with my team. We're getting done at the same time. We're chilling afterwards. And he would always plant the seed. Always was trying to plant the seed. He would be like, "You gotta pick me up," stuff like that. He's like, "Nah," but it was the time. I told him straight up that then too. I was like, "Yo, this we just won the Open Cup too. You remember we won the first one?
Oh yeah."
We were getting second in the other ones. We were doing really well. So it wasn't the time. So, but I knew that he really wanted to still be on the roster. I knew that was his ultimate goal. At some point, Matt's going to be on the roster if we don't win the tournament. And we just got a top 6 at Raleigh. It wasn't looking good. We just went in with the first seed, and we got second at Anaheim. I knew something was coming. You know what I'm saying? Especially since he was the best free agent by far out there, and he had to be on our team, or else he's not. They're not going to let him just play on another team, especially when he's that good. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be on OpTic.
I gathered from that question that we asked Matt, it was always, if it was between you and Pistola, it was always going to be you. So I kind of wanted to just dig a little deeper and see why that was. I'm not surprised the Black and Milds, had an influence, because if you're smoking a Black and Mild with the homies, like, he probably takes precedence over anybody else because you're a true homie at that point, right? And friendship wins.
I forgot to even mention, it's fuck the Black and Milds and everything. Like, Matt is one of my best friends from way back then. Like, bro, how Matt and I met is 2009. He sent me a friend request. Like, we played each other on Onslaught Flag. I remember like it was yesterday. Onslaught Flag, I think we beat him. Or no, he beat me. He sent me a friend request. I don't think I did anything with it. I just left it there. And then messaged me and he goes, why don't you accept my friend request? And I go, I don't know you. And I'm like 14. We're 14 at the time. That's what I said. I don't know you. And he's like, well, you can get to know me. And then we have a Xbox 360 video call and we just talk. And he's like showing me his baseball trophies from when he was a kid playing and everything. And then we've been friends ever since then. And that is the story of how I met Matt. And we've always had success playing Halo, whatever Halo it may be. Our play styles work well with each other. Matt knows he knows how to get the best out of me, and vice versa. I know how to get the best out of him. And that comes from our friendship. That comes from, me talking to him, knowing what to say outside of the game, like before we go up on stage. I'm with Matt more than probably anybody. When I'm, since I'm in the watch parties, that's different. But when I was a competitor, even me not being on OpTic, I'm still with Matt more than most people. We're going outside together. I'm hanging out with him. We're talking with each other. Like, I'm with Matt all the time. Like, he's literally, I call him twin. That's my best friend. He's my favorite teammate of all time. And I just wanted to give him his flowers real quick because I didn't even touch on that. I don't think that we would have won that world championship if it wasn't for Matt being on our team and his leadership and his guidance with the roster.
In 2016 and 2017, the first 2 years of Halo 5, it seemed like you were kind of plateauing around top 4. You finished almost every single event 4th or top 6. Was Halo 5 a little more challenging to you for any reason, or was there anything else in your life going on that might have been holding you back?
So, at the beginning of Halo 5, I was like a real shithead. I was a bad teammate. I was a really bad teammate. I had my priorities fucked up, and even though I was doing well, I wasn't really applying myself, if that makes sense. I didn't really take Halo seriously until 2018, I'd say. Now, this is something that a lot of people don't know. So before Halo 5 came out, a team that was supposed to be OpTic Nation was going to be Formal, I think Hines, Ola, and I. That was going to be a team before Halo 5 came out. And it was supposed to be for Halo 5. Formal was going to try and do both games. It was a pipe dream. Looking back on it, it was a pipe dream. When that fell through, we went and we got Mikwin from Team Liquid, I believe. We had to buy, and we had to buy him out, and then we became Envy. We became Envy, and we got Mikwin. So that was our team. And this is when I was a bad teammate. And I left that team for Liquid right before X Games. We had a lot of bad blood because we were doing bad in the online cups. We were just on the out, we were 7th place, and top 6 got to go to X Games, and Liquid offered me a spot, or I went to them, and I think the team was Eco, Hines. I took Hines with me because it was Hines, Ola, Mikwin, and I took Hines. We went to Liquid for, I think, Ninja, and I forgot the other person, Chig. And
you guys had Eco and Ace, it looks like, for one of them. Yeah.
That was our team, and then we went to X Games, and then we started out the beginning of Halo 5 with that roster, because it started off with the first Worlds. It didn't start with the Pro League. It was first Worlds and then the Pro League. So I started to get my act together. The second event before Worlds, it was the regionals in Columbus, and we did well. And then afterwards, we went to Ace's house. I was going to school before this, and then this is the first time that I actually had to take off school because I was literally just living in Aaron's crib. You know, our whole team was Hines,
Oh, wow.
Nico, all of us. We would just wake up upstairs, eat. His family is incredible too. Shout out to Aaron and his family. They were very
yeah.
accommodating, very hospitable. Like it was a blessing. It was a blessing.
The Elams are amazing people, man.
Like one of the best Halo moms we have in the scene, honestly.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Just have to give them their flowers. Have to. And so we were there, and our coach was Elamite as well. We were there before Worlds. We're grinding everything, and then we go to that Worlds, and then we beat Allegiance in pool play. Okay, we beat Renegades in the regional event beforehand. Got like a top 6. We lost to Denial at regionals, and we couldn't get over that Denial hump ever. I don't know why. They were a nasty team. They just countered us like really well.
It was Hugh, Boo Boo Doo Contra, Predevinator.
Yes. That's a team that was nasty, especially looking back on it. Bro, Hook was nasty in Halo. Okay, like he was my kryptonite.
Miquin says that he was like objectively the best player in Halo 5 for a period of time. Is that true?
He was disgusting. Yes, I
Yeah.
would say so, bro. He like his movement, everything. I had like, I don't even like to give players that type of gas and say that they were that hard to kills, but he was a hard ass kill, like genuinely a hard ass kill. Like even when playing against him, I would be like, all right, I got to really lock in because he's not going to be missing. He's going to be making the right play. So, Worlds, we beat Allegiance in pool play, which was Nated, L-Town, Kratos, Suspector. And
Yep.
after that, we're on top of the world, and then we get put on the hard side of the bracket. It's us, EG, CLG, and Denial. And mind you, to everybody watching, this first Worlds in Halo 5 was singly limb, $2.5 million tournament.
What?
Yeah, so you didn't know that?
I forgot that.
Yeah,
Wow.
bro. It was the most money that Halo has ever had at a tournament. It should have been this first Worlds in this game, but they obviously took the crowdfunding to multiple tournaments. But it was $2.5 million tournament, first event, like first Worlds. It's before any like normal events. Like every event before this is just a lead up to Worlds, like regionals, qualifications, everything. Singly limb, playing like and with the ARs, radar, everything. But singly
So
limb.
dumb.
That's the shit that gets me. That's the shit that gets me.
That's
So
wild.
yes, and so we are arguably the top 4 teams too on one side of the bracket, and we play Denial round 1, and at this event also they allowed the OS glitch, and the OS glitch was when you could do a button combo, pick up the overshield instantly, and not have to do the animation. The animation is still in Halo Infinite.
Yep.
So how you have to actually put it on your chest and you have the chance to kill them, so you can burn it and kill them, or you can burn it and pick it up yourself. In Halo 5, there was a glitch where you could just do it immediately, do the button combo. You would immediately have it, and there's nothing the enemy team could do about it. But if you tried to practice it online, you would crash the server. So it was
What?
you couldn't do it in scrims. But everybody was told that it wasn't going to be at the tournament, and nobody was doing it in scrims and whatnot because you couldn't scrim with it. But apparently, EG was the only people that were told that it was going to be in at LAN. So fast forward to the event, we have the pro player meeting on Thursday, and I think it's PJ. PJ speaks up. He's the only person to speak up. If I was the person I am today, back then, I would have spoke up with PJ and gone to war with him and not allowed it. PJ was the only person going to bat for the pros, trying to make sure it wasn't allowed because nobody was told it was going to be allowed before this tournament, and we're playing for the most amount of money. Granted, he's the one that won the tournament, and he's the only person that went to bat. If my memory serves me correctly, okay, I think I'm correct on this. No, I would ask PJ for
Clarification.
Yeah, clarification, just so I'm not talking out my ass, but I'm pretty sure Denial was doing that to us in Game 5. Hook was nasty with it.
Was it a hard button combo? Was it like hard to execute?
I don't think it was hard to execute. I just think like with my button settings and how I clawed and whatnot, I think it would make it difficult for me. But I think for other people, it would just be like really simple. I think it's just like beat down and like holding it or something like that, or shooting at the same time. wasn't difficult, but I just didn't
Okay.
know it, nor did I really have time to practice it. You feel me? Because we're just thinking
Yeah.
about warming up for the matches. That event, we lost to Denial Game 5. Still was a top 8 team, but that was a good start to Halo 5. 2017 is when I was on straight ripping. Actually, I was on OpTic too. I was on OpTic in the first pro league. I got in the car accident.
Yep. That's what I was going to ask you, because I felt like when I looked at this, I was like, I wonder if the car accident gave him like a new lease on life type mentality, and that's why he started doing better. Because when 2018 hits, like that's when you just like soar into the stratosphere. So like, talk us through the accident. What did that have like a big impact on your career at the time?
So it's after the first Worlds. I'll just keep going down the timeline.
Yeah.
And it's Spartan, Eco, Stellar, and I. A really good fucking team. Really good team. We just qualified for the Pro League LAN. Pro League LAN is in Burbank. And I got in a car accident on the way to that tournament.
Oh, wow.
I still somehow went, and I played terrible. I remember I was like looking at lights and whatnot, and I was like, bro, this is super.
You should not have played, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, but I didn't know I had a concussion at the time. People at the event were telling me, you probably have a concussion. You should go to the doctor. And so I went to the doctor out there. Shout out to ESL and HCS. They extended my stay in the hotel. The doctor told me, yeah, you have a severe concussion. You should not have been even flying. You need to take a week off and just relax. You can't look at screens and whatnot. I was told like it would take a few months for me to recover, and I can't look at screens, and I should not be playing Halo. So when I got back, I had to step down for the team. Liquid, they had to play in the last chance qualifier because obviously we didn't win a series. Put me on the team. This is a shitty ass time period in my life, bro. This is a shitty time period. Like this is when life hits you, and you're just like, what the fuck? And then I get the message from OpTic that Nated is retiring, and that they need to pick up somebody that hasn't been like on a pro team. It's basically an AM player. And that was the only option. So I had to cut like my recovery and then just get back to playing.
Wow.
We beat Denial, which was like Cloud, Falcated, Gabriel. I can't remember the last person, but we had to beat them. They were a really good team too. Rami, yeah, they were looking really good too. Good call, man. That's what I'm talking about. They were doing really well. Like we weren't doing well, but it was dope being on OpTic. I'm not gonna lie. Like it was really, really dope. It was really dope. That's my first time being on OpTic. It was Maniac, Straight Sick, Ace, and I.
Ace, yep.
And the coach was Flamesword. And we won like a couple matches in Pro League. We weren't good. We weren't good at all. And so when you were the 7th and 8th place teams in the Pro League, you had to go to the final tournament, was only top 4 teams. If you were 5th and 6th, you got to keep your spot in the league. But 7th and 8th got to go to the finals tournament with the top 4 teams, and you had to play against the top 2 AM teams in like a little mini like bracket or something like that. It was like best of 7s. And if you lost to the AM team, they take your spot in the Pro League. But we beat the AM team so that we got to keep our spot. And that was like a really big moment for us. But after that is when OpTic picked up the CLG team, Snakebite, Lethal, Frosty, Royal 2. And just at that time, we let go of Straight Sick, and we picked up Hines, and we were looking better. Maniac retired. So we were testing out forts in Pro League. I think we tested out like Ryan Noob one time. We were 0-7, I think, in the Pro League. And we get Renegade. Mikwin tells me about Renegade. Shout out to Mikwin. He tells me, yo, pick this kid up. And play with Renegade. We win our first 2 Pro League matches. Renegade shitting, bro. He's going crazy. We played with Renegade, a few of them, I think, but we ultimately decided to go with Eco because that was our team beforehand. It was Ace, Hines, Eco, and I. That was our first Worlds team. He decided to come with us because we were doing well in Pro League. Like we were starting to make a comeback, but we were still like not really making. We weren't securing a top 4 placing, but we made it to top 4. I think we ended the season like 7-7. I think our team name was LOL at first. I told them to make it that because of the situation that happened. Like I just thought it was funny, so we just were LOL. But then we started to get org offers, and then we got a top 4. We signed with Straight Rippin' at the time. Coach Hoaxer as well. Hoax was with us the entire way. Shout out to Emmanuel. Big shout out to Emmanuel. This was a really big moment for us. We choked against Liquid at the event too, but still we made it top 4, and that was a crazy run, bro. If anybody was around for that,
Let's go.
I think if you go to Ace's YouTube, he has like Game 5 versus Enigma 6 for us to make the Pro League. Yeah, if you want to try and find it, but it's there with comms and everything.
Yeah, Kills will find it. Throw it in the video.
It's Enigma 6. You can hear our comms. You can hear us at the end. You can hear Eco and everything. Like, we're talking shit, bro. It was a great time period.
I got one. Hey, reset. Just hold this. Get the base. Get base. Watch pit. I got red. I got pit. Let's fucking go. Thank God.
Let's go. Good shit. I was literally 13-0. You kids are fucking trash. Have fun in relegation. Woo!
Let's go, baby. Good shit, boys.
You're right about, like, having Halo taken away from me and getting a chance to play it again. And it really kind of changed my mindset. That car accident really, really did put a lot of shit in perspective for me. Like I said, life can hit you at any time, and you have to appreciate it. And you actually have to be appreciative of the gift that you have and take it serious, because you, like, a lot of people, they don't respect Halo. And I was one of those people that like that one time. I don't mean like they don't respect Halo. They just like, they don't try their absolute best, if that makes sense. Like, they're not going as hard as they really could be.
Take it for granted. Yeah.
Yes, they take it for granted. And that's why I say, like, I've had it taken away from me before. And it sucks, bro. It sucks. And if you're ever on the sidelines, you know how it feels. Halo 5 2018, the beginning of the year, I'm teaming with Lunchbox, Ace, Neptune on Renegades, right? Neptune is like a young up-and-comer at this time. I think he's 15. He had a great previous season or previous event with Kratos' team. I forgot what their team name was or who was on the team.
Yeah, it looks like he was on Era. Is it Era Eternity with Kratos, Musa, and Straight Sick?
Yes, bro. You're on point. I get so happy when you do that. I get so happy, bro. I get so happy. Yes, that was the team, but he was the standout. He was a little shit, though. He was a little shit. Well, but he was 15. You know what I'm saying? He's 15.
Yeah. Yep.
We were like a top 6 roster. We weren't really. We couldn't beat the top 4 teams. If you've ever seen a clip of me at the Worlds on that team, where I thought it was a best of 5 and it's a best of 7, and
oh no,
I like got up like celebrating, and it's not like the Worlds like 2022. It's a different one. But it's the first time.
Yeah.
It's the first time a winners round 1 has ever been a best of 7. It's like literally the first time. It was weird. But then the next season is when obviously Rostermania is happening. And I was about to team with like L-Town and I think maybe Spartan and some other people. The roster was Mikwin, Penguin, Neptune, and they were deciding a 4th. At first it was Booba-Doobu. Okay? Booba-Doobu was their first 4th. And then I think Neptune played like 8s with Boo Boo or something like that. And he changed his mind and he told the team, yo, I want to team with Brad because I had just teamed with Neptune beforehand. So at first I got told no. And then they made a decision and I guess changed their mind and they hit me back up. And that's how I got on Renegades for the final season of Halo 5. And we were a really, really good team. I got my best placings. I think my placings were 3-4-3 that season.
Yep.
But it was a blessing. It was a really big blessing to get on that team because it wasn't an expectation, but it really meant a lot because Neptune believed in me as a teammate, especially because of the previous year that we had, and he's a young kid too. So he said that he felt some comfortability with me, and that really means a lot. Shout out to Travis.
And now going into 2019 and 2020, we're dominating the Halo 3 throwback era. I mean, I think what you wanted to accomplish in Halo 3 Classic MLG, yeah, you had a second lease on life in the throwback era with MCC, along so many great teammates. What are some of your fondest memories from that era, and who are some of your favorite teammates during that time?
I'll tell the story about how I got on this team. 2018, the last event of Halo 5 is Atlanta, and I'm on Renegades at the time. Before the very last Halo 5 event, Snakebite messages me on Skype, and he says, yo, when is your contract up? I said, oh, it's up after this event. He said, okay, we'll talk after this event. So I kind of knew after that last event that I was going to be on talks. And they knew that they asked me because Frosty was going to go to Call of Duty and they knew before that event too.
Wow.
I was happy as hell going into it. And for the people that are watching, the team was me at first. At first, the team was Snakebite, Eco, Lethal, and I. and our coach was Royal One.
Yeah, let's play that. That was from UGC Halo Classic 2019, one of the first throwbacks. And this is, I think, the grand finals here. Yeah.
Also crazy to note that Royal 2 wasn't teaming with Snakebite at this time when they had a run of 15 years as teammates, and you had his brother coaching the squad. So I think that's an interesting little side note.
Yeah, he was like kind of deciding if he wanted to play. Like, I guess kind of seeing how the season was going to turn out for the throwback events, because this was the first time they've done anything like this. You know what I'm saying? So we had what, 3 years of Halo 5. We're kind of in a limbo period.
Yep.
He lives in Canada. He's trying to see if it's worth it. And so after this event is when he comes back, and that's why we team with Royal 2 for the rest of them. But shout out to Kevin. He was an incredible teammate, especially even in Halo 3, especially in Halo 5. This was the kind of the start of my, I guess, second win in my career. Like it kind of showed people that I became a different person. You know how I said that I was a shithead teammate? And this is when I kind of got my head on straight. People noticed that. I got an offer to be on OpTic or Envy at the time. Or actually, yeah, it was Envy at the time. And then it became OpTic when Frosty came back to Halo. So this was a very, very important time period for me, because like it wasn't even just about winning the tournaments. It was just about me changing as a person. And I learned so much about Halo teaming with them. Like, I've learned so much. I didn't even think of myself as the same player beforehand, because I truly viewed myself as a winner, and I knew how to play winning Halo, and that carried over into Halo Infinite. You know, like, and that's what it's a blessing to see, bro. Like, I really learned, and I give them all the credit in the world, even, you know, especially PJ, because PJ, I saw PJ buying a house back then. You know, I said to myself, okay, I want to buy a house now, because I genuinely saw him and Lottie doing it. So that was one of my ultimate goals, and now I have my own house, and that helped me just really lock in onto what I want to get out of this Halo shit.
Snakebite at their base. However, now that Comley is no longer a threat over at the A corner, Snakebite's going to continue running this over towards the dumpster.
He's not able to stay alive, and the flag is going to be down. APG's going to go back, grab the flag. He's taking shots from behind. It's going to be right there. And Tox are your Halo Classic champions. What a series that was.
It became like a tangible goal for you. Like, I want to springboard my Halo success into purchasing my first house, because you saw and were inspired by Snakebite, is what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm on the team with him, and like I'm winning tournaments. So I'm like, hey, if I'm winning tournaments on the team with him, then this can be a reality for me too. So what if I just take it a little bit more serious? And this was like, I had wanted so long. That's why you see me smiling. I'm just blessed. I'm so blessed.
You look relieved.
You're smiling so big.
Like relieved.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is a crazy time period. Just looking at your results, I mean, it looks like you also later teamed with Snipe Down and Ace for one of the events. You still won that. That was the Halo European Open. So you guys went over to Europe for one of these as well?
Yeah, so we qualified with the team, like our actual team, Snakebite, Royal 2, Lethal, and I. It was an online tournament where only one NA team got to go. And we beat, I think it was Eco, Goofy, Gabriel, and I think maybe Gilkey or somebody in the finals. So it was a close series. That one was a close series. And that I was really excited to go to London again, because that was my second time going after 2018 Halo 5. But Lethal's number one fear is the ocean. So he qualified, but didn't want to actually go.
Oh,
and
wow.
World 2, it's a long ass travel day for him. So he's like, all right, fuck it. And like, he doesn't want to go. And so Snipe Down and Ace at the time were roommates. So we just asked them, and they, flew out with us, and we won the tournament. It was in Twickenham. It was actually in the place we went to last year.
Yeah. Wow. Same place.
Same exact place. Same, so I've been there before.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah. It was the same exact place, same exact venue, everything. Like that statue, everything. I fuck with Twickenham. I fuck with it. A lot of people don't, but I fuck with it because I've been there before.
You played against Snipe Drone, Moe's, Respectful, and Haulers in the grand finals. How good were they back then? Because I feel like this was kind of early in like the European Halo growth. Like, was it close in grand finals? Like, do you remember how difficult it was?
It wasn't too difficult. Like, respectfully, it wasn't too difficult. Like, we kind of knew going over there that we were gonna win. And I mean, they can only get so much good practice, especially being in the EU and in the MCC. It was a confident win.
Now, going into Halo Infinite, I noticed something interesting. when I was looking at this is despite all your appearances across multiple Halo titles, you and Pistola never really teamed for a LAN. It looked like you maybe teamed like online for a couple things, but never teamed on LAN. And you really had only teamed with Lucid and Trippy for like 2 events in 2017. How did you end up coming together with that original OpTic roster for Halo Infinite?
Remember how I said how Frosty came back and he took his spot back on Talks? I was a free agent. At the time, when we were on Talks, we weren't even Talks, excuse me, we were Sentinels. Okay, we were Sentinels and we had signed the Sentinels before the first Throwback Reach event. So after the Halo 3 tournaments, we went to Reach on PC. And then COVID hit. And we played that one Reach tournament and then we played HOA online cups. And I was on Sentinels for the entire time. We were the first signed, like technically partner team. So Sentinels wanted to get in early and sign our team because of, you know, not even just me on the team winning a few events, but their history, being world champions, their, you know, finals run, everything. I get let go from that team. I did not realize at the time, because we had been under an organization, I did not realize at the time that all the other teams that we were playing against and that throwback tourneys, everything, they were talking to organizations too. And 343/HCS had sent to be partner teams lists of all the teams, their contact info. So all these other teams were talking to these orgs, getting ready to sign. And they were getting ready to sign within like 24 hours to 48 hours. I had no idea.
That's insane.
I was stressing heavily because I wasn't pressed about it when they told me. They were very respectful about it. And when I get let go from a team, I'm just thinking about my next move. I'm not holding any grudges. I'm not upset. I just have to think about what team I'm trying to go to. So I'm messaging people. I message Penguin.
Renegade.
No, not them yet. Wasn't them yet.
Okay.
It was like Penguin, Trippy, Lucid, and Ola. I think that was their team. Penguin, Trippy, Lucid, and Ola. I messaged them, and they were going to be Envy. They were talking to Envy about the sign soon. And then I talked to, I asked Eco. Eco's team was Renegade, Stellar, Snipe Down, and Renegade, Stellar, Snipe Down, Eco. It was their team was talking to C9, and then I messaged Spartan. It was Spartan, Boo Boo, Foul, Ace. And I messaged Spartan, and they were talking to they were talking to SSG. Okay, they were talking to SSG, and they were getting ready to sign soon too. Everybody was getting ready to sign. I was stressing. I was like, oh shit, what am I supposed to do? And so I messaged Spartan. They let go of Ace for me. Aaron's one of my best friends. It sucked. It sucked. He was not happy with me. He was not happy at all. He was like, why didn't you message me? All this other stuff. I was like, I just tried to do what I tried to do anything. I just messaged whoever I could because I was panicking at the time. I'm technically on SSG. I send in my clips for a Halo announcement, just little overkills and whatnot, good snipes. And piecing that together, I get the contract in my email. Take a nap. I wake up to. I take a nap.
This nap changed everything, is what it sounds like to me.
Yes. Take a nap. I missed a phone call from Snipe Down, and I get a text. And I missed a call from Trippy, and I get a text. Snipe Down got dropped for Penguin now. Okay, so Penguin's not on that Trippy team anymore. He's going to C9. So now it's Renegade, Penguin, Eco, Stellar, and they're talking to C9. And so there's a spot open on the 2B Envy roster. Trippy, Lucid, Ola. They have a 4th spot open. Snipedown's messaging me because he just got let go. He's talking to Faze. And he's possibly going to be the face of Faze. But I didn't like how the things were sounding on Faze. I didn't mind teaming with Eric. I just didn't like the logistics of it, if you know what I'm trying to say. I basically get in a call with the entire team. Trippy, Lucid, Ola. And the coach at the time was Swiftkill. Shout out to Alex. He was also my teammate back in Halo 2.
Yeah, Swiftkill is a beast.
We get in a call, and again, we teamed in Halo 5, as you mentioned. They dropped me because, again, I was a shitty-ass teammate. I didn't have my head on straight. So them giving me this chance, talking to me, was a really, really big moment for me because it showed that they're taking notice of everything that I'm doing behind the scenes. So they have a call with me. They basically talk to me saying, where's my head at? It's like a little interview. I'm playing with Trippy during these Halo 3 throwback tournaments as well in MCC, and we're just talking, we're shooting the shit. They tell me that they want me on the roster, but it's between Snipedown and I. So Snipedown's trying to put together a team for Faze, but he's also possibly trying to get them to not be on Envy and go to Faze with him, or he possibly might be on or he's like interviewing to be on MB too. So basically, it was between Snipedown and I for the spot, and so they went with me. Later that night, they like talked to him too, and they decided to go with me, and that's how I became the fourth on that roster.
Wow.
So in the off season, and then we signed to Envy, and then they later became OpTic.
Oh, Brad, my man. Yo, what's going on? What's up, Launch Raj? My man, how you been? Good. Where you been at? This whole time, bro. I've been in here hard.
Dude, do you ever reflect on the fact that if you didn't take the nap and you just signed the contract to SSG in your email, that the entirety of Halo history would be completely different now?
Yeah.
You ever thought about that?
Yeah, I do. Bro, it was so close to happening, like you had no idea. Like I literally, the editor has my clips. He probably still has them. I could show you the email. And they sent the contract, everything. It was very, very close. It was very close. I remember I spent all day deciding.
This is like a year before Halo Infinite actually came out, right? Because there was the delay, right? Like all these talks are happening around the original release date of Halo Infinite, and then it would later get pushed, right? So this was like 2020. Is this COVID yet, or is this like the end of 2019?
This is in the thick of COVID. This is July. Like COVID hit in that like February, March-ish time.
Yeah.
This is July. Everything's still shut down. Like this is mid-COVID. They were doing online tournaments only.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then after we got signed for a little bit, we got put on like a retainer because the game got delayed for a year. But it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool how it all happened. It's actually crazy when I say it out loud. I don't think about just the little moments, but that's what makes a career very interesting. So,
jeez, what an anecdote. I think also kind of like lost in the shuffle of this incredible timeline that you're taking us through is that Trippy and Penguin didn't end up teaming together, despite it sounds like having plans to team for Halo Infinite. We just had Trippy on the pod. Penguin's his favorite Halo player. Penguin is his duo. Penguin and Trippy won their first LAN event together at the Red Bull Rise Till Dawn 2v2 event. So just you, like even on like an outside, like on the periphery of this incredible story, there's other like little nuggets that I'm taking away that I'm just eating up as a fan of Halo.
It is really cool that we just had Trippy to now have Brad to like hear the two perspectives of the situation.
Mind blowing, honestly, absolutely mind blowing.
Shout out to Joey, one of my favorite teammates, bro. I love Joey.
I guess that's why when you have a big decision, they tell you to sleep on it. So
I think that's what I was doing. I genuinely think that's what I was doing. Everything was happening so fast.
Yeah, it's like, this is stressful, man. I'm gonna take a nap, and then the whole world changes essentially. Wow,
exactly.
Crazy.
Well, you had a very historic first year. You won 2 of the last events and your first Halo World Championship. We've interviewed, like we talked about, all of your teammates at this point and talked about that Worlds experience many times. We didn't show this clip. Now, to set the stage, this is the Grand Finals reset, which seemingly happened a lot once Halo Infinite came around. It really felt like resets just, tough to win a Halo tournament. Anyways, game 1, Recharge Oddball. OpTic, you guys took round 1. Then there was a crash at the start of round 2. Y'all had a 6-point lead after the restart, and then the lead ballooned to 84 to 36 before C9 went on a run to force a round 3. You guys would end up icing up, featuring an MVP performance from Lucid. This was the first time in my experience I remember you getting emotional like this. How hard did this moment ultimately hit?
Camo, shock, Lucid set up for success here. It's one of the first times on the ATS main stage that we have seen, should get this coming Penguin as well. That's one of the first times someone has grappled the ball and the shock and the camo. Just locking down this map, 10 points to go. If Lucid hits a couple of shots here.
You remember when you saw me in Halo 3 just feel relieved?
Yep.
This was just the biggest feeling of relief, but just the feeling of accomplishment too. Like, we set out a goal and we actually, we really did it. And that's why I love that team, because we were able to just overcome any of our issues with just conversation and actually speaking to one another, and we didn't have any egos. We were all there for the right reasons, and I will always have love for them, because I wouldn't even be in the position I'm in today if it wasn't for those guys that I'm sitting next to on stage. It's and the person behind us coaching, Jason.
The first game in the second best of 7 in our grand finals goes over to the green wall. And all of a sudden, their superstar has re-emerged as the player to watch.
At the time, too, everybody was calling us online warriors. We were supposed to, shoulda, coulda, woulda, Kansas City, but we had to lose Kansas City to win Worlds. Like, if we did not lose Kansas City in the fashion that we did, we would not have won Worlds. So we had a very long team talk after that. We actually got better from it. Said all of our differences. We said what we needed to do to win. Best team talk that I've ever had.
As we take a look at some of the highlights from that game.
And going forward from that, we started our practice better. Like even going into the Super, we were looking at we won the Super, and then won Orlando, and then won Worlds. Like that, it just all happened very fast. And then even after that, we won Charlotte going into the next season. And I think that's a really big feat too for the three-peat, because we were good from that off season to the next tournament, which is really big.
And you also weren't expected to win it like you were Worlds to a degree. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, people thought Faze was going to win that. They did not. People were saying that we were in a slump because we were losing in online cups, but we were still like right there with Faze. You know what I'm saying? We were still right there with Faze, but people were thinking that we weren't going to win. I think we might have been second seed going into the tournament too. They were doubting us. And we won Charlotte in a crazy fashion too. Like last second, time running out, game 7 Slayer. That was a really big win too. But like I said earlier in the pod, being at Worlds and having my family win, or being there to witness my win, and seeing like somebody has a picture in the crowd of us winning, and there's like they have my dad, and you can see my dad smile, and it just means the most to me that they were able to experience that moment with me, and that's what it's all about. Like it's cool to get the trophy and all, but my family experiencing that after they were there to take me to my very first event, and they can see it all come around full circle is a blessing.
What a series. What a series indeed. What a series indeed.
I remember this in person, and this choked me up, bro. Like right here, Blaze shouting out your name, and then the crowd. Let's just let this play for a second.
Thank you.
APG, we've been watching your career for so many years. You have been a staple throughout Halo, and I know this World Championship is hitting you right to the heart. Talk to me about your journey and what this one right here means for you.
Bro, I honestly, this doesn't feel real. I've tried to I've spoken to Joey before we moved. We were talking about envisioning championships, and after everything we've been through this entire year, and we come out on top the last 2 events in a pretty dominant fashion besides the first series against C9, but I'm just so fucking happy. You have no idea. My words will not show how grateful I am for all of you, how grateful I am for my team, my organization, my girlfriend, my family. Thank you.
It was a good moment. It's a good moment.
I just want to say thank you to all of our families that came out to support us, all of our girlfriends, everybody. I'm really happy that our families got to see the Green Wall crowd in full force. So thank you guys. Thank you guys seriously.
This is incredible, man.
Incredible.
You don't get moments like that often.
The Green Wall has never been as loud as it was today, so I appreciate you guys all for that. This one, as all of them, are for you.
One more time, give it up for the Green Wall as they are your world champions.
This was so cool for me personally to watch because, dude, in this moment, I was having flashbacks to playing against you in Halo 2, man. Like, I was having flashbacks to the 11-year-old APG that I saw upset that he didn't get top 8 in FFA when he's only like 12 years old. The APG that finally beat me in a tournament, and it was like one of your first big moments as well.
Bro.
And then to just see everything since then, and then watch you win the world championship, it was just crazy for me personally to see everything, man.
Thank you.
It was cool.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate the love. You guys are the best.
Man, you've been such a special friend and competitor. I mean, I don't know if you remember this. I definitely do, because it's like one of my favorite Halo memories of all time. But you actually pulled me aside and you recalled just how much of an inspiration I played in you getting to this point. And I'm thinking to myself, there's no way. You're holding the trophy in one hand, you're dapping me up in the other, just thanking me. And I'm kind of like, what did I do, brother?
I remember you talking about Charlotte.
That was at Charlotte, that's right. And you had mentioned how, I think you said, myself, Walshy, and Reed 18 were your 3 inspirations. And I'm kind of
Bro, loved it. People nowadays, they don't even know Re18. They don't even know Makowski and the montages, bro. Like, the montages were dope.
A lost art, man.
Yeah, it's a lost art. Like, I was thinking about that because we were watching one on the drop pod, actually, I think, or no, the flycast, the Stockholm one.
The newer one, right? It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we were watching that one, bro. Lost art. But yeah, dude, montages were my shit, bro. Like that, even Shook One, even though he's a hater towards me, bro. Shook One's montage, like him just like changing his settings, like in the beginning, bro. Everything, bro. That was the only Halo content you got outside of MLG. That's literally the only Halo content, bro. Like when you're on the Halo 2 forum, bro, you got to download it, get the zip and everything. Yeah, bro.
Isn't that crazy to think about?
You had to download the multimedia to your PC just to watch it.
Yes.
That's why it was so rewarding. That's why it's one of my favorite, if not my favorite Halo experiences outside of like a direct Halo experience where it's obviously post-event. We're just chopping it up after. But hearing that from you is like, it's one of those reasons why you do what you do, right? And that's why I started it because I wanted to inspire other people to want to play Halo at a high level. There's only 1-2 events every 1-2 months content. And those montages is what bridged the gap and inspired people to reach the heights that guys like you reach. So I'm sure you probably just like forgot about that and saw it as an aside. But it's still man, I'm having a hard time even just like reframing the memory in my head because I'm literally shaking right now just thinking about that, man. That meant a lot to just feel like a small nano fragment of a really cool moment in Halo history. So I just want to give you your flowers for telling me something like that. You probably didn't think it made that kind of an impact, but it's something I'll never forget.
Bro, of course, bro. That just makes me so happy that you're happy, bro. That makes me so happy. Of course, bro. Those things, like, bro, you have no idea how important those things were back then. Like, you didn't get content outside of that. Like, I'm a young kid, too. Like, that shit was like, bro, the music, everything, bro. The montages were like, that was what made you cool. Like, if you could get clips and shit like that, that shit made you cool. Bro, you should always feel proud about that.
I'm pretty sure if I didn't make montages, like I never would have got seen. My Halo 2 montages are the only reason I got on teams. People would watch me do double shots and shit. Like,
yes, bro. You were a double shotting maniac. Yes.
Yeah.
You have a call out named after you. That's hard to get. That's hard to get.
That's true. It's still surreal to me, honestly.
At the time, you could be a free for all kid, and it was kind of like, you go through the open bracket. And I feel like montages added that third opportunity for the young, hungry kids like yourself to try and make a name for yourself. And whether you got involved by making montages directly or you just watched it before every single session, it's really cool to hear you recount that and gas it up. Man, whew.
So before we get too derailed here, I want to pull this up. So this is... We want to give you even more flowers from this World's Win, man. This is cool. This is extra footage that not many people see that often anymore, but this is like the first pop off into the moment. Your face cracks me up every time I watch this. So right here, you see Lucid is like doing the hype thing. You're standing up, you put your headphones down, and then look at how scared you look when Tommy's like, yo, game's not over.
Yes, because I'm like thinking about like what I'm hearing. I'm thinking about what I'm hearing in this moment. I'm like, and that's why you see me like try and gear. I'm like, fuck it. I'm like, all right.
Didn't even put your
no audio. No audio.
Like, bro, it was difficult. I was just making sure that nothing bad happened. I had to make sure that we got the win. I was like, all right, this can go really bad if we don't win this or we don't get these like rounded kills. But it happened pretty quick. So I was like, all right, then there's a feeling of relief. It was good.
I want to, in a second here, we're going to make sure we listen to the desk because after this little zoom in on formal, they're shouting out everybody. It's obviously a historic moment. And then Clutch gives a little monologue about you here in a second. So we'll just listen to this and let it play out.
But on top of that as well, can we really just take a moment to reflect on guys, you played with Brad for years. And to see him finally get that freaking moment.
The emotion.
I'm almost about to cry, honestly. It's beautiful. He deserves it.
I teared up when I got to see Bradley win. I've known Bradley since 2006. He's been doing this for 17 years, y'all. 17 years he hasn't got a championship. His name isn't in the banners. Well, guess what? APG, your name, it's written in stone now. It's in the banners. You belong with the champions of the past. I couldn't be more proud of that kid. I have no words to say about it, man. I'm emotionally invested.
Shout out West, man.
You know, to just take a moment.
Have you heard this before? Because I'm thinking like you're in the moment, you're on the crowd, you're shaking hands, you're taking pictures. Like I don't know if you ever went back and watched this to hear him say that.
100%, bro. I went back. I watched that broadcast so many times you wouldn't believe it. I watched that more than my favorite movie.
I love that, bro. That is your favorite movie, bro.
It is. It is my favorite movie, bro. It is my favorite movie. I like shout out West too.
It's just crazy because that seems like such like an intimate, personal, maybe one of the only people to feel like Clutch felt. But anybody, to Eli's point earlier, anybody who played with you back in those free-for-all lobbies, Clutch was really speaking for all of us in that moment. And man, I think he really capped off such a I'm glad Clutch got the mic for that because I think he said what everybody was feeling.
And he'd known you the longest of anyone in the fucking room, right? Like he's literally
first day. Day one, first event.
Day one, your first event. Dallas 06. Crazy, man.
Ultimately, you guys would stick together for the entire next season, season 2 of HCS. You won Charlotte and Fort Worth, and you had some really solid performances. But that Faze God Squad, man, it just made it really tough to close it out at the end of the year. Faze was playing insane, and they just took over at Worlds. Reflecting on it now, was there anything that you think held your team back?
Man, that's like one of the biggest like stings of my career. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say because it's not like we were playing bad. We just couldn't like win a game. And we were up 2-0, so we were probably just thinking, all right, let's just get this shit done and over with. I was already thinking about the celebration.
You can taste it.
Yeah, like you can taste it. But then, we lose the first series, and I wasn't even that pressed about that. But then there was game 2, the second series, Aquarius Slayer. When we lost that, that's when I felt like, all right, that was our kind of chance to get back into this, make it 1-1, get one on the board. We lost like 50-49 or 50-48, and that's where I think it was too far gone at that point. They're just gaining too much confidence, and it sucked, bro. It sucked. So close yet so far. We had a crazy series before that, I believe, to make it to the finals. We reverse swept SSG. We were playing really well, man. We were playing super well, and I thought that was our time. And unfortunately, it just wasn't. And like I said, not one of the biggest sting in my career, because you don't get many opportunities to go back-to-back world champion. You don't get many opportunities to be in the finals as a back-to-back world champion, or even get that, just make it that far. I think that even if I was still on the roster the next season, I think we would still have gotten at least one event win because of how well we were as an actual team, our cohesion, our friendship, everything. So even if I was still on that roster, I think that we would have still been able to have success. It was that event was just us choking because we were back on the right path. We started the year off with Charlotte. We got first, we got third, then we got top 6. Then we went to Salt Lake. And then, even though we got 4th at Salt Lake, we were playing much better Halo. We blew it versus SSG in winners bracket. And then we kind of blew it versus Faze in losers bracket. But we learned from that, and it was still us being back on track. Even going into that tournament, we were like, all right, playing much better Halo. This is more reminiscent of ourselves. We go into Fort Worth. We win that event, Game 7, second series against SSG. And then we're, thinking the same thing about going into Worlds as it was the previous year. Orlando, we're going into Worlds with the event win under our belt. There's only 2 weeks from the event.
Yeah.
Prior to Worlds, there's not much time for other teams to catch up or fix their problems. That's what the team, if you win the second event before, the second event before Worlds, then you're thinking to yourself, all right, these people only got like 2 weeks. They're already having problems. Let's just keep it going. We're going to keep getting better. We're on top of the world. When you win a tournament, you learn a lot more. Other people are not going to be able to catch up to us. And that's exactly what we thought was going to be the case. But it was the case year 1, but not year 2. But it really sucks. And I wish that it didn't go down like that, but it just wasn't our time, unfortunately. It wasn't our time again.
I think it almost became like poetic if you reflect back on like the history of Halo Infinite. It's like it was always the big 3. It was you guys, OpTic, it was Faze, and it was SSG. Now in this year, who are the 3 teams that have world championships? It's OpTic, it's Faze, it's SSG. It's just like, I don't know. I think it was almost like poetic in a way if you think about it. Like you said, it just wasn't your time. Those guys were on fire that event. Maybe you guys let off the gas a little bit. I don't know, but regardless, I mean, you still had a hell of a year when you all things considered. Second place, again, like making it to the grand finals, 2 world championships in a row. That's a feat of its own as well, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is. It is. I will say though, like they just flipped the switch and like they were playing incredible. Like, and that's the team that's gonna do it. You know what I mean? Like they have the experience, they have the tenure, like they have the skill, they have the resilience. Like they've been there before. So it's no problem to them to just flip that switch. I've been on that team, so I know what that switch is like. I've won back-to-back Lizards final series, making it to the finals with that roster. So I know what it's like. I wish I could have more of an insight on it. I just remember more specifically that game 2. I'm more like that game 2 in the second series where it was so close, and then
needed to win that. Yeah,
we needed it. If we won that game 2, I think we would have at least went to game 7 because we would have been going neck and neck at that point. We would have had that kind of reset that we needed as a team. And beforehand, we've been in that situation. We've lost that first series. We're not pressed about it. We go into the second series. We're like, all right, go in the back. We have a talk. Matt says what I call his winning shit. Like he always I can't say exactly what he'd be talking about, but he'd be saying the stuff that gets your team confident, wanting to win a tournament, feeling like you're about to go to war with that roster. And then we just couldn't get it together, fortunately.
We have a different title idea for this. Probably going to be something about you being the judge. But duality of life, I really feel like could be, that's my take. That's your story, right? And just like the car crash and being able to appreciate life itself, I assume while you obviously wanted to go back to back, that second loss probably helped you appreciate, in retrospect, the win you got at the previous Halo World Championship.
Yeah. And also just realizing that it's not as easy as you think. Like I genuinely thought that like we were about to go back to back world champ. I'm pretty sure we all did.
Do you think maybe the overconfidence got the best of you in that moment?
Yeah,
probably. It's possible. Yeah.
I wouldn't say like overconfidence in that way. And I wouldn't even say like individually. I'd say like us as a team. Like I think that we could have went into it thinking that, thinking less of less of the moment. We got to take ourselves out of the moment, just like
realize take it game by game.
Yeah. And I don't think that we did that, going forward. But I don't even remember like the game 3 in the first series where they started to come back. I remember even when we lost the first series, we went outside, we were chilling, we were talking. It wasn't anything big. And then the second series started and we just could not get it together. And that's when they just started to get better and better. Because they're just gaining confidence as the games go on. So
following that second place finish at Worlds, you would get dropped from OpTic for Penguin, but you wouldn't quit. You'd explore some new spaces with Native Gaming. And now this roster was interesting to me. At times it felt like the roster had potential to do great things and you guys could beat anybody, but at other times it felt like you could also kind of lose to anybody. What was this time period like for you? Was it kind of like a frustrating time period when you were trying to make things work over there at Native?
Here, let me close the door real fast before I get started on this. So you asked me what was my time like on Native. It sucked as a from a team aspect, not the organizational standpoint or aspect, but it sucked from a team aspect. It really sucked. I'll start from the beginning. When I got let go from OpTic, I had basically 2 options that I was trying to field. One was Shopify, another was Native. Shopify team would have been Mental, Cycle, and I. I don't know who the 4th would have been.
Wow.
The coach was going to be Best Man, who still is the coach of Shopify. And that was a good offer on the table. Same amount, basically dollar amount, salary. And I decided to go with Native because I wanted to team with Mikwin again. And I also wanted to team with Collect. And I wanted to help give them some sort of stability because I felt like in Collect's career and their career just in general on Native, they just were changing out rosters every event. I feel like they had the potential to be a lot better, the skill. They just needed somebody to kind of give them that guidance and help them get there. And I believed that in myself enough to where I could, help them accomplish that. So I also was going to Japan after that Worlds. I was like a planned trip. And when I was there, it was like really difficult for me to converse with people because I would be in tomorrow morning while they would be in yesterday's night. And I would have to be up late at night to speak to people in the morning or vice versa. And it was just difficult. And I was trying to basically still talk to people throughout. I'm talking to Mikwin. I was talking a little bit to Best Man before I left. I let him know that I'm probably going to go to Native. I think Mikwin told him also that I was going to be on Native too. So I just, I just went with the Native offer. But I did not necessarily want a team with Neptune at first. That was our fourth. It was Collect, Mikwin, Neptune, and I. And I did not necessarily want a team with him because I felt like Neptune was just coming over to Halo to get an easy check because he could not get a CDL team. At the time, I didn't feel like he was going to put forth a full effort. It's no disrespect to Travis because he's also apologized to me about this in my messages, and I talked to him in person and everything. Like he understands that during this time period he was not a great teammate, and this is no disrespect at all because he's learned from it, and that's the most important thing from it all. So we picked up Neptune, and I was even saying to Mikwin while I was in Japan, I'm like, hey, I don't think that he's going to be I don't think he's going to be a great teammate. I think he's talking the talk, but I don't think he's going to walk the walk when the time comes. So fast forward to when we actually make the team. We play a preseason LVT tournament, I believe. We don't do well. We lost to Rob the Turtles team, and we were not looking good. We played the first official HCS Cup. We have like a long team talk after that. We have to actually get on track. Neptune wasn't playing a lot, and it's not like it was just his fault, but it makes it more difficult when your teammate is not putting forth a full effort. When he's already 2 years behind, he needs to be playing twice the amount as all of us because he needs to be learning the meta, et cetera, et cetera. We get like top 16 or something like that in the online cup, the first actual official one. We say, all right, we can't do this. So we hit up Last Shot. Possibly it was going to be Last Shot. We thought Last Shot was going to be our fourth. I think we scrimmed with him, and he didn't like something on our team, and rightfully so, because he made the right decision. And he joined Business at the time, which was Talik, Druk, and was it Talik, Druk?
Soul
Can't remember the fourth. Manny. I think it was Manny.
Okay.
It was Manny. And then I think they made a roster change later on. And so you joined that team. We couldn't get Last Shot. We thought we had Last Shot in the bag. We went with Barcode. We got Barcode in the country very fast. Barcode basically moved his entire life over to NA. And I love teaming with Barcode. Alex was an incredible teammate.
Love that guy.
He tried his ass off, gave an effort, gave a fuck. He's the ideal teammate that you want, especially from somebody that's coming from down under, and they're they're basically playing for their livelihood. You feel me? They're going to be he should be giving his all, and he is. Get him on the team. So it's Collect, Mikwin, Barcode, and I. We get top 12 at Arlington. Not a good showing, not a good placing. We basically said to ourselves, all right, let's kind of give it another shot because everything that was going on prior to the event doesn't feel like it was real. Let's try and sit together and work it out. We get back on, we lose our first 3 scrims, we don't win a game. Okay, it's like against OpTic, SSG, OpTic, or some shit like that, or SSG, OpTic, SSG. Yeah. We did terrible. And then Mikwin said to me, he's like, hey, we need to, he had some beef with Collect behind the scenes before Arlington as well. They didn't necessarily squash it. And then after the scrims, he was saying, hey, we need to make a team change. Now for Collect, I did not necessarily want to do it. I said, I don't want to do this just yet. I want to kind of stick together with this roster. Mikwin said we need to do it now. He said it's him or me. So we let go of Collect. We picked up Gilkey. I didn't necessarily want Gilkey either. I wanted to pick up maybe Skeptify. I've always thought highly of Skeptify.
He's insane.
Yeah, I wanted him on the roster. If I was to pick anybody, no disrespect to Gilkey, but Skeptify was my first pick. Pick up Gilkey doesn't really help because Collect and Gilkey are 2 different players completely. They have really different play styles. Speed's different, everything. And we need more of a Collect play style in today's age of Halo. We can't have more slower players because we already have slower players than Mikwin and myself. During this time period from our new team with Gilkey up until London, we're having terrible team. Our team's dysfunctional. It's not going well behind the scenes. Mikwin is wanting to retire, after every other cup. We're trying to convince him to keep playing, but he just doesn't have the confidence in himself.
Foot's halfway out the door. He's not going to give the same effort or play the same.
Yes. And he just, it was a very difficult time. It's a very difficult time. So we go to London. After that is when Mikwin, even before the event, is when Mikwin basically decided that he wanted to retire. So we're going to that event basically thinking, all right, this is going to be his last event. And then we got to find a 4th afterwards. We go and we get top 12. Okay, we don't do well. We don't do well in another top 12. It's terrible placing. Terrible placing. It sucks because my average placing before that season was 2. And now I'm getting top 12. It was awful. Terrible on the mental, too. After that event, I get an offer from Pure at the time, which was Last Shot, Druk, Tolic. And this is before they asked Cherish. At first, like I'm talking to Druk all Sunday night. We're just talking about Halo, just shooting the shit. Just talking about mindsets, gym, everything. Monday, he says, like yo, I talked to them. He said, look, we want to pick you up. I'm like, all right. I talked to Native on that Monday because I was going to Amsterdam that week, but I was still going to be back in town because there was an HCS Cup that weekend. But I was going to Amsterdam from London. I talked to Native. They were technically on board, but I needed to get the 100% green light from him. He says that he went to sleep and saw this fucking nap again. He went to sleep and they decided that they wanted to go with Cherish. And then I was like, all right, fuck. Well, all right, that's fine. And so then I think I took a nap and I woke up and he's like, all right, I convinced them. They want to do it. And I wanted to I wanted to basically bring them over to Native. I would have felt really bad if I was to not team with Barcode and had to send Barcode back home. But they wanted to team with Tapping Buttons. Before I could technically get in a call with Druk and them, I didn't get in a call with Druk until I got back in the country. But I knew they wanted to be on they wanted to be a team, and I wanted them to be coming over to Native. But it was just too late because by the time I could talk to Native, I think Gilkey had already told Native that, hey, we want a team with Tapping. I'm not fond of I'm not fond of Tapping. I'm not fond of him at all. I wasn't fond of him before this. He said that he doesn't think that I'm a good player, which is perfectly fine. And there's no issue with this at all. But why would I want to team with somebody that doesn't think I'm good? But it was too late at that point. So I just was like, all right, that's fine. But I also told the team, hey, when I get back in the country, I'm going to have a call with Druk and them because I do want to kind of take that offer. I did tell them that. I kept it real. By the time I got back, it was just too late. The Cubs were already starting, and Native was already, when I was in Amsterdam, they were already looking at places for him to come into the country and get a spot with Barcode. So it was just, everything was happening so fast, and then the Pure team went with Cherish, and it just kind of just passed up. But that was an offer I really wish I would have taken because my whole trajectory of my career could have been different in that year. Like I said earlier, tough on the mental because it's just all these opportunities getting passed up, and I feel like I'm not in control. And I don't mean to blame everybody else in this situation because I'm just keeping it real, and that's how it was. And anybody in this situation will probably tell you the same. I didn't really have a say in these team changes. I wish I put my foot down more, and I didn't just let these things pass me by. That's one of my regrets from this past season. We go to Atlanta. We get an AM bracket. We go to we're starting an AM bracket, which is even shittier, but helped us get some more practice. We get another top 12 placing in Atlanta. But then we go to Salt Lake City. We actually locked in for that tournament because we needed to qualify for Worlds. We got top 6, not just the top 8. We got top 6. That's big. We beat Quadrant. That was huge. All right? That was huge. Yep. Then after that, we just didn't even give a fuck, really. And then we just got top 16 at Worlds. I mean, going into Worlds, I knew that we weren't going to do well. And that's one of my biggest fucking regrets. And not even regrets. It's just one of my shittiest feelings is going into a tournament knowing you're not prepared or knowing you didn't prepare enough. And actually, you want to make sure when you're packing up your controller, when you're shutting off your PC, when you're packing your bags for your flight, you did the most you possibly could to prepare for that tournament. Don't want to leave with regrets of I should have played an extra game. I should have played an extra day or so. No, you don't want to go to a tournament like that. It sucked. Every single event, besides probably Salt Lake, it was like that. Especially going into Worlds, it was like that. And that was the worst feeling because 2 years ago, I was just going to that event feeling like I'm about to win it. The year before, I was feeling like I was about to win it. The year before, about to win it. And then I'm winning this year, and I'm getting top 16, and I'm not winning a single series. It was awful. Honestly, I wish I would have just probably retired
earlier.
Yeah, I do wish that. Because if you go back, you can probably see one of my stream robots on YouTube, probably by Broward, that I say, yo, if I could tell the future and I'm going to get top 12 for an entire year, I would rather retire right now with some dignity. And lo and behold, I get top 12 the entire year. I shouldn't have probably said that. But, I mean, at least we had some sort of silver lining with the top 6. I can't complain about that. But other than that, I that was enough to make me not really want to compete anymore. But then the off season hit. I was told by my family that my mom was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer, and that's why I initially took a step back from competing. Because obviously I've been competing for a long time. I've done a lot in my career. I'm at the point where I can take a step back and do something else. So I was going to be just a coach for the Faze team. I was going to be a coach for the Faze team because there was going to be a native and Faze collab for Halo. Not a merger, but just a collab for Halo.
Wow.
And I was going to be the coach because I could still be involved in that Halo community. But I was taking some time off to be in Florida to take my mom to and from her chemo appointments because I'm the only one that can, because since my dad works. While I was in Florida, the Faze and native collab was going to be, it was still in the works. And the team had somebody else coaching them. And I was just going to coach them when I got back. I was going to get back the week of the Kson tournament. And they were just using a sub for the time being. The collab fell through when the native Envy merger was announced.
Yeah.
And since I was already signed under native, I was just going to be the coach of the team because I was already signed to them, and they had a content creator and a coach in one. But the team was signed to Faze, so the contracts were given out by Faze. So when the native announcement happened with Envy, Faze just decided to go independent with the team since they were already technically signed to only Faze. So they just made a decision, respectfully so and rightfully so. So at that time, I had to make a decision: do I want to go to Faze or go to stay under native? And I decided I wanted to stay under native, and I said I wanted to be a content creator for native. I didn't want to go to Faze because I don't think that I was going to get paid under Faze. Before I got back, Nick and I were talking about watch parties, and he said he wanted to do a watch party at the first 2 Halo events. And I was like, all right, bet. I think the same time that I got told that I had to either go to Faze or, what did I want to do? And I said to Envy that I wanted to be a content creator. But at the same time I got offered to be the Faze coach is when Nick hit me up to do the watch parties. So I decided to take the watch party route because I figured that would be something better for longevity and stability. He wanted to do it initially for the first 2 events and see where it could take us afterwards. Now we're doing online cups, et cetera, et cetera. And it's a blessing, bro. It's incredible what this has turned into. I just hope it can continue to grow. 3 days before the OpTic major is when native let me know that that was going to be my last few days under native, basically my last day. Do the watch party. Watch party goes incredible. And then I'm at Hector's house that Tuesday. We're hanging out. And I decided to ask him, since I just got told the week before, I asked him, you gonna let me rock the chain again? I thought of a slick way to ask him. I wanted to ask him back in January. Him and I were hanging out back in January, and it was just not the right time. I can tell, held my tongue, and then now it was much better opportunity. And, he agreed. And then that same day, Nick asked me to come on the Halo pod and said, yo, you want to come on the Halo pod? We're starting at this time. He didn't know I was at Hector's house. I was like, yo, I'll come through. And then went on the podcast, and then now we're here, where I'm just consistently doing the OpTic drop pod, and I'm on OpTic again. So it's crazy how life works. It is very crazy how life works, and especially saying everything that's happened in my career. I'm very blessed by God. I'm very, very blessed, and God's been looking out for me in a lot of situations because I don't even think that I should be here with all the fuck ups and mistakes that I've made, and I can only continue to improve and try to be better as a person.
To me, the underlying thing though is you didn't ever stop. You might have had some fuck ups here and there. Maybe you were a bit of a dickhead at some points in your career, but you kind of learned every step of the way and you never gave up. So it's I don't know. I find the inspiration in that. It's yeah, you might have fucked up a few times, but you never really stopped, bro. And
yeah,
I think that's something that I regret most about my career was the fact that I just kind of called it quits. At some point, I just I feel if I kept playing, I would have eventually got my top 6, my top 4s, I had a lot of skill and I was getting better, but I just gave up and you never did. And that's why you ultimately are where you are now. So I just got to say, I respect you a lot for that, of course.
Thank you. That's something I never really thought of until people were saying, "Oh, you've been playing Halo for so long," but it's genuinely because it's been so it's so integrated into my life. The scrimming culture, finding a new team, the messaging people or trying to not coerce, but trying to mingle and trying to talk to people about teams
Play
on Sunday
politics.
night. Yeah, play the politics game. I'm just so used to it that I never really thought like, oh shit, I've been doing this since I was a child, and I'm still blessed to still be doing it. I say that every single watch party. I'm like 15% closer to officially retiring. I'm basically unofficially like retired right now. I just say that I'm not officially retired until you see a video or something actually doing my career the justice I think it deserves. No egotistical shit at all. I just think that if I've been playing as long as I've been playing 18 years, I want to make sure that I don't just do a tweet for my career. I have to do it the right way. Even if I'm not playing for 4 years, I'm going to make sure I'm not retired until you see that video posted. You don't get opportunities to do something like this often, and I think that if you are playing for as long as I have, you want to be able to transition into something different afterwards, whether it be content, casting, whatever it may be. You want to have that avenue open to you. And if I get the opportunity to do this with Nick and be back on OpTic, it would be stupid of me to want to go back to competing. OpTic has also let me know that I can go back to competing if I want to. They say, like, they also told me, like, hey, with your announcement, do you want us to say that if you want to come back and compete in the next Halo, then we will let you be on loan? And I said, no, don't worry about it. I don't really want to come back and compete.
In my eyes, you've always been the glue that held those OpTic teams together. And it only feels fitting that you're back on OpTic. But man, what a precarious moment in your life. And now we're at the recent memory timeline of your story. And look how, look what it turned into, right? So you had the opportunity to compete, coach, content, and you ultimately went with content. And I think that's been a great decision for you, my man.
Thank you. And I just want to say shout out to Nick. This is not possible without Nick. If Nick did not believe in me and hit me up to be on the watch party, I would not be back in OpTic. I wouldn't have purpose in OpTic. Like, if he didn't hit me up just to be on the podcast that random day that I'm at Hector's house. Like, he says on the pod, like, APG was in the neighborhood, but I genuinely was in the neighborhood with Hector.
I remember even watching that thinking like, oh, I could see where this is going.
No, but I genuinely was just in the neighborhood. Like, it was but I just had asked Hector before, like, hey, can I be an OpTic? But Nick didn't know that. None of them knew it. It's so cool with the team, just formal, renegade, bound, legend, getting to know them. Jason being my coach from beforehand. Like, Jason is an incredible coach. You guys have heard me talk about him like thousands of times. Like, Jason is the fucking GOAT.
He talked about you on our pod. Did you get a chance to listen to the Lunchbox episode?
Bro, I tried to find that. I literally got to that point, but I couldn't find it.
You should check it out, my man, because in the episode that we just had with Jason, it was the week before you guys won the OpTic Major, by the way. He said that you were one of, if not his favorite players to ever coach. And I think that makes sense because when I think of Lunchbox, Roy was the glitz and glamour, the perfect shots, the overkills. Lunchbox was the glue. He was the glue that kept the team together. He was the shot caller. He was the strategy playmaker. And I kind of see a little bit of that in you.
Thank you. That means actually a lot coming from Jason, bro. That means a lot because Jason he's still always there for me even when I'm not competing. Like, even or when I'm not on their team or when I'm on a different organization. Like, if I need something, I can go to Jason. I need some Tums, I need some water, I can go to Jason still. And that's like the culture that we built within that team. And that's why I will always love them all to death because of what we accomplished, bro. Jason he's the right man for the job. Because remember I said that Swiftkill was our coach at first when I joined Envy. Swiftkill started getting really popular in the crypto world. He does some of the NBA Top Shot or something like that. Some of the NFTs and everything. So he got really, really big and his work started to just it just started to consume him so he couldn't coach anymore. Ola brought up Jason at first. And then after that, I was like, yeah, let's do it. Because Jason was retired, not doing anything at the time. He was just not doing anything, but he was just not involved in Halo. He was working his real life job, living his life. Jason's always had a career. He's just doing his thing. But then Justin reached out to him, and that's how Jason became our coach. And he just started to be our coach, and he was just got incredible, really, really fast. And he's the perfect person for it. So that's how Jason became our coach. I didn't even mention that. But yeah, shout out to Jason. He's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Love that guy.
That's one of the reasons you want to watch all the way through this episode because you've dropped nuggets all throughout.
I tried to say some stuff I wouldn't usually say, or some stuff that people usually don't know. from either me or certain players, whether it's the past season, how I feel, anything. And I just want to let people know, like, I'm very grateful for the career that I've had. Very, very grateful. I'm blessed, bro. I don't take it for granted at all. I might have before, but I don't take this shit granted at all, bro. This game has brought me places I never thought I would go. Has me in rooms I never thought I'd be in, meet people I never thought I would meet. I'm in a house I never really thought I would get, but it's all off of Halo. I have a chain around my neck strictly from Halo. I've watched strictly off Halo. Like, all these things that I'm blessed to have. My parents saw me win the ultimate tournament, you know, and that's what it's all about, bro. And I just want to say to people out there, bro, just make sure if you're doing this shit, bro, give a fuck. Actually give a fuck, because I didn't give a fuck, and then when I did, I actually found success. And I wish I gave a fuck beforehand. Like, and I was just half-assing it and doing, like, well to be top 4. Then I actually gave a fuck, started winning worlds and winning tournaments, especially this late in my career. So definitely, if you're out there, if you're watching, bro, if you're thinking about being an aspiring competitor, my number one advice is be a good person and give a fuck. There's a lot of people out there do not give a fuck. They just be half-assing it for a check, and they are not good people. They're just going to just do it for themselves or just using it as a stepping stone. You got to make sure you're trying to do it for the people to your left and right and trying to win with those people.
All right, so we do have a few questions from our Patreon. Just a real quick thing. If you'd like to support the time and effort we put into competitive Halo and podcasts like this, be sure to check out the Patreon. We got some cool stuff there. But let's go ahead and ask some of the questions from the Patreon. This first one comes from our paid member, our first subscriber ever, the Dead Display. He finds his way in every episode. He's actually got 3 questions, so we'll try to hit these pretty quick. What do you believe was or is the key to your longevity as a pro player, and what advice would you give to the next generation of pro gamers? I guess you just did that, to be honest.
Yeah. My key to longevity would be, number one, like I said, giving a fuck. Like, but I didn't start giving a fuck until later. But I still was always a good teammate for the most part. Like, when I showed up and I had good comms, like, you could rely on me. But I was still like a liability in a sense. But you could rely on me to be a good teammate. Show up. Make sure you adapt, whether it be in different metas, different Halos, different environments. And also, like, being a good person, to expand on that. Not trying to snake people. Not trying to one-up people. Not trying to do shit behind people's backs. Always being upfront. Trying to, talk to people the right way. Treat them as other, actual humans. Not trying to look down upon others. I think that's what it takes to be a good teammate, and that's why say just strive to be the best teammate that you can possibly be. At the end of the day, you do have to look out for yourself, but still try and be a good teammate to those around you. Don't just try and do shady shit or try and burn bridges, because you never know when you'll have to cross that bridge again.
Perfect. Now with Believe the Intel, which is his name for APG streams, I like that. Starting to take off, how would you like to see your HCS Intel / news content grow and evolve?
I'm really trying to be the Izuma of Halo. That is my ultimate goal, and I'm trying to follow in his blueprint. You guys can see I have the BTH trials going on. That's similar to the Stallions.
Incredible, by the way. I mean, that
Thank
is so sick what you're doing for the community. There hasn't been an opportunity like that ever in Halo Infinite that I can remember. So, I mean, shout out to you and Nick, what you're doing with that. I know it's taken a lot of effort.
Thank you. And also shout out to Alyssa. Shout out to Alyssa, BTH Alyssa.
She's been putting in the work.
Shout out to Germs as well. Nothing without Alyssa and Germs, for real. Nothing at all. Shout out to my manager, Alyssa. I have to give her flowers. Have to. So also what I want to do for the Intel streams is I want to turn them into like an actual show. How they do the flank. I want to do, like an interactive show. Post that on YouTube. At the end of the day, it's just a stream. But I'm trying to turn it into more of a show, and I think that by the off season, it will get there. I have a few things in the works of, trying to actually get it there. But I think, like I said, by the off season, the Intel streams will actually be like an official show.
Last question from Dead Display. He says, what aspects of any of the Halo titles do you believe should be carried over or brought back to the next HCS Halo game?
Any champ rank.
Yeah, that's necessary, I think. Yeah.
I fuck with the BR. Grew up on the BR. Fuck with the BR. Yep. I think we need better maps as a whole. I think we need more creativity as a developer, to keep it real. I feel like the whole bringing back old maps isn't really the wave. I feel like we need something better, more fresh, something to keep people... Like, think about the maps that we're putting out, bro. Right now, people are not happy. People are not happy. Shit gets really stale. Argyle was in for so damn long. That shit got stale. No updates to it. We just need better maps. We need better maps. I'm not going to go on a tangent, but we need better maps. We need a better game at launch. That is probably the most important thing.
100%.
We need a 100% fully polished, finished game at launch. We've had MCC with a terrible launch. We've had Halo Infinite, which had a good gameplay, core gameplay. But after a little bit, there was no updates how it was supposed to be released. And people that are playing with their friends and all these other playlists, they're not going to be coming back because there's nothing else for them to do. There's
The crashes, the network problems. Like,
yes, bro, the EAC, like, you got to think about it, bro. We're playing this game because it's our livelihood. You know, we got to be interested. I'm playing it because I'm a professional. I'm restarting my game because of the crashes, because I have to scrim. But think about little Johnny that just got home from school. He's not going to want to play the game after it just crashes. He's going to get on a different game. He's going to get on Roblox or Apex or something like that. But the core gameplay of Halo Infinite was always so good from the start. That's the shitty part about it all, because it had such a good start, bro. We were doing so well in the first quarter, bro. The first quarter, we were shitting on the game, bro. Everybody was playing it, bro. We had fucking everybody playing the online cups, bro. Raw. Not even, bro. I'll keep it real with you, bro. Year 1 and year 2 of Halo Infinite were popping. Maybe the player base might have died down towards year 2, but year 1 and year 2 Halo Infinite was popping. Year 3 is when things started to take a downturn. And I think that might have been like the Bandit, and all the reworking it had to do with the Bandit. Because at first the Bandit was shooting too fast. They had to go back and make sure the time to kill wasn't happening. But after a little bit, they got it, right? And things are looking good now because the storylines, the gameplay is good and everything. Year 3 doesn't even feel like it happened compared to year 4, because year 4 is actually popping. We got Pro League, we got watch parties, we got we got online cups. It just feels like there's more. We got storylines. It just feels like there's more going on. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, like year 1 and year 2 Halo Infinite were good. From a viewership perspective, I'll say that. But from a player base perspective, it obviously died down very fast. But we had little continuous updates. But say Forge in this game. Forge is the most intricate that it's ever been in Halo, period, in Halo Infinite. But it came out so late that it's not going to hit like that because nobody's going to be looking for it. We had the little Jenga games, everything popping off for a little bit. Fat Kid, everybody was playing this shit for like a good couple months. But then it died down, bro, because the player base just isn't there. People are going to go get on something else. They need something to retain these people. And right now we're in year 4. There's nothing that we can really do to get people on Halo Infinite right now. Like, there's people are going to play it casually, but they're not going to start grinding Halo Infinite. Like, because the new Halo 3 helmets are coming out. That's not just going to happen. It's just, like, Squad Battle is a cool addition. I will say that. Squad Battle has a lot of people playing it. That's something different in it. It's interesting, but they should have always had ranked Squad Battle in the same way they've always had ranked Arena in, or ranked doubles or something else. They have to have these playlists in and have something interesting for these other people to play, not the pro players. The pros are going to play this game regardless, but you got to think of the crashes, everything. Think about what they're going to think when they're playing the game.
Just pure facts.
That was just nonstop facts. This man is spitting right now. I cannot agree more with everything you just said. Yeah, very well said. We're going to go through these other questions real quick. Let's see. We got one from Aiden White Pfeiffer. He asks, there must be days where you aren't feeling inspired to play, or you're just going through the motions. In order to improve as a player, do you find it more productive to push through anyways and get your hours in, or is it better to take a break and reorient? It's a good question.
Great question. Great question. My answer would be both. Like, certain days you're not going to want to get on, but you know you got to scrim. You know you got to get your hours in. Like, you got to power through it. You know what I mean? You can't just take some time off. But when you do have that day off, like, you have a couple days scheduled per week that you have days off, say it's a Saturday or whatnot, take that time to yourself, actually have it be a day off. Don't just play matchmaking. Actually have that time to yourself with your girlfriend, whatever it may be. Go out, have a nice dinner, have a nice lunch, clear your head, because as you get older, the breaks are needed, bro. As you get older, you need to take those breaks, bro. You can't just nonstop grind, bro. You need to play. When you get a day off, go and enjoy that shit. Because when you get back on, it's mentally draining to be doing it day in and day out. It's taxing. It's taxing on your mental, especially when you're playing a high-level Halo, because you're trying so fucking hard. You're always improving. You're going over VOD. You have expectations. Like, you need to take those breaks. You need to take those mental breaks. You can't just power through that and just tilt grind. I think that is not smart. If you have a day off, go take that. When you have to play, you have to play. You have to show up, because there's going to be times you don't want to play at an event, probably. You don't, or don't want to play in a tournament. You're not going to feel well or some shit. You're not going to want to do it, but you got to power through it. Everybody does, and you got to be built for it. So that's my best advice.
This one comes from Music Fiend 08. He says, how can you tell people that even though they might have good aim, that tendencies and teamwork are more important? guess he's trying to say, like, how do you convince somebody that like their aim's not going to carry them and they need to focus on teamwork?
Your skill can only get you so far because you can get a whole bunch of kills, but it's about what you do after you get those kills and what you do with those kills. Especially in this day and age of Halo, where team chemistry and actually playing together as a unit is so important. And because if you're one player out on the island by yourself and you do something wrong, it's going to domino effect and hurt the whole team. So that's why you can't really, in my opinion, you can't really carry in this game, because you can't play down in numbers in this game, especially against the competition that's going on right now. Like, it's not possible. Like, you have, everything is very teamwork oriented and teamwork based. So that's why I say, like, you need some sort of skill, need some sort of smarts to accompany your skill. And you can work with people that have a lot of skill, and you can kind of teach them the game if they're knowledgeable. But it's hard to do it vice versa. Like, you need some sort of raw skill initially before you can kind of be coachable.
Okay, and then this one will be a fun one to hear your answer. It's from Notorious Dre, who's actually the brain behind the HCS fantasy account, if you've seen that guy. He says, who do you think are the best 4 players in Halo Infinite if you exclude the OpTic team? So besides OpTic, who are the next 4 best players?
It's hard to say, but you can easily put Shopify there, but I will say I don't know, because I will say people like Trippy, Suppressed, Falcated has been playing really good Halo this year too. I think that's going under the
DreamHack,
radar.
he was probably the second best player in the whole tournament, outside of like Legend or Renegade. I can't remember exactly what the stats were, but Falcated had like the second best KD and was just playing God mode.
Yeah, and Zane's consistent as hell too. But that's where you got like people like gotta start thinking about Stiller and Lucid. Like, where do you put them? Just because of how things were the first couple of years and how they are being on their most recent teams. Like, where do you put them in the conversation now?
For me, and I guess I know this question was not meant for me, but I think based on the meta of Halo Infinite and where we are today, my top 4 is probably like Cycle, Royal 2, Trippy, and like that 4th spot is so hard to pick somebody.
Frosty's been playing incredible.
It's got to be Frosty. Yeah, it's got to be Frosty. Yeah. And not to like slight last shot by putting Trippy in that spot instead, but he just hasn't been himself on LAN yet. I don't know. I haven't seen enough of last shot on LAN, at least just so far this year on Sunday specifically. Like, he's been great, don't get me wrong, but like I just want more from him because I know he's capable.
I know you said the question's not meant for you, but I'm glad that you answered that. Like, I love that you did that, because I think that Joey needs his credit, and I think Falcated also needs that credit too. I want to shout him out. Suppressed is always looked at as like the slayer of the team. People know he's going to fry. People know he's going to pop off. I think Falcated goes under the radar.
So we're gonna shift gears here. We've been talking a lot of Halo, but you're more than just Halo, Brad. In your personal life, we know you often have the best fit in the venue. We know you like to smell good. And you've even got your own weed strain, as far as I understand. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
I have a brand that I'm working with, Soil Built, and someone that I'm working with, Rome Rolls. Shout out to Rome and my homie Brian. We sell hash holes, which are here. It is like 1.5 grams of flour, 0.5 grams of hash rosin. I eventually want to get my own strain. I want to make content around it. I want to be like the first pro player to kind of cross that barrier and kind of open those doors. And I also just did the Pine Park podcast. I have a Pine Park strain coming out soon too.
Oh wow!
So I want to do just more stuff in that space, in that industry. So I know people just think that I'm high all the time, but I also want to actually make something out of it. Because I do have other interests, and I feel like that is something that I want to lean more into, especially since I'm doing content now.
Now, we have a very fun segment for you, so I'm going to try to explain it before we jump into it. Instead of doing a normal tier list with you, we've got a segment called Fragrance, Lotion, or Weed. Makowski, do a quick jingle for us. Can you sing one?
Fragrance, lotion, or weed.
Perfect.
Crazy, bro. You guys are crazy.
Now, the idea is we're going to give you some pop culture items or movie titles, album titles, musicals, and you're going to repurpose them to decide whether the name is best suited for a fragrance, for a lotion, or a strain of weed. All right. So, and then after each one, I'll kind of, if you don't know what it is, I'll kind of explain where we got it from. So the first one on the list is going to be the Goonies. The Goonies, do you think that belongs which of these categories?
Goonies. I would say go weed that.
Okay, I like that. By the way,
Yeah.
Goonies is a 1985 adventure film starring Josh Brolin. All right, on to the next one. Kiss of the Dragon.
Fragrance, 100%.
Ooh, yeah, that's good. I like that as a fragrance. That's a 2001 action film starring Jet Li.
Good
The
movie.
Soft.
Good movie.
It is a good movie. The Soft Parade.
Lotion, 100%.
Yeah,
Soft.
yeah, Soft is an easy one, right? That's an album from The Doors. How about Amadeus?
We'll go fragrance.
I like that. Yeah,
Fragrance.
it's elegant, which is a 1984 Best Picture biodrama about Mozart. Interesting. Ashes of Time.
Oh, I mean, come
weed,
on.
100%.
It's obvious, yeah. It's a Hong Kong martial arts film. Okay. Purple Rain.
Weed.
Yeah, anything purple, I feel like is pretty obvious.
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't even know why I thought about that. That was easy.
How about Eternal Sunshine?
Let's go fragrance. Sounds good.
Yeah,
like a
that's-
little floral scent.
Like that.
Little floral
Yeah,
scent.
yeah.
I like that.
Little pick me up.
All right. How about Flower Boys?
I'll say weed because that could be like a brand name.
All right. And that is the 2019 Grammy nominated album from Tyler, the Creator. All right. The next one is It Follows, which is a horror movie name.
I'll go fragrance. Say it follows because like maybe the scent follows you.
Scent
I don't know.
follows you.
That
A
one's
long
difficult.
lasting fragrance, maybe. Yeah, it is a tough one. How about Moonlight?
Fragrance.
Yeah, I like that. Liquid Swords.
Fragrant or it's lotion. Liquid. Maybe go.
Yeah,
with
the
that.
liquid. Yeah, I was thinking fragrance too, though. I don't know why. Let's see. Pulp Fiction.
I'll go weed. Just because from somebody probably put that on a bag or something. So I'll go weed.
Yeah, true. One of the best films of all time. Pablo Honey.
I'll go lotion. The honey. The lotion.
Like that. It's a great Radiohead album from 1993. Their first album, actually. How about White Lotus?
White Lotus, weed, 100%.
Yeah, flower based makes sense. G and X.
I'm gonna say GNX. Let's go weed. Go weed.
Okay, I
Some
respect that.
Some extreme strain or something.
Yeah. How about Rear Window?
Fragrance. I don't know why. I don't know why. I can't think of one for that. I just said fragrance. Sounds good.
Rosemary's Baby.
Weed.
Yeah, obvious green. Yeah. Rubber Soul.
Rubber Soul. Rubber Soul. I'm gonna go lotion, just because I feel like lotion needs a little bit more love. I can think about it. Rubber, something like that.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's a album from the Beatles, by the way. West Side Story.
Fragrance.
Yeah, classic Broadway based on Romeo and Juliet. Shaft.
Weed.
Okay.
I like Shaft. Shout out Shaft. I like that.
Yeah, 1971 classic. Rumors.
Fragrance.
Yeah, that's an obvious fragrance
Oh,
for
yeah.
me too.
That's like GQ shit.
Yeah, exactly.
There probably is a fragrance named that already, I would guess. The Big Chill.
Weed. Big chill. You're chilling.
It's an indica for sure.
Yeah, big chilling.
In the couch. Like that.
In the couch, yeah. Let's see. Mother's Milk.
I'm gonna go lotion. Let's go lotion.
For sure.
Yeah, 100%.
The milk component.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is a 1989 classic album from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Okay. The Exorcist.
Weed. Because
Yeah,
people
that's-
say that if you get too high, it makes you scared.
Yeah, it's just
you get all paranoid in that shit.
That one makes you paranoid as fuck for sure. The Hurt Locker.
Fragrance. I'll go fragrance.
Okay. Could see that. Last two here. We got Thriller Were we putting Thriller?
Weed without a doubt. Gotta go Thriller for the weed. Gotta go Thriller.
Yeah, Michael Jackson, famous, uber famous, probably the most famous album of all time, something like that. And Wicked, the last one.
Go Fragrance for Wicked. Some sick shit. Crazy shit. Crazy shit.
Some witch's brew. They brewed it up in a potion or something.
Yep, exactly. I like where your head's going.
We thought that more of these would go weed. I guess there's more Lotion picks than we expected.
Oh yeah, because I'm thinking about like anything that has to do with the liquid, it's going under Lotion.
That makes sense.
This is great, bro. This is great. This is the segment you guys were talking about.
Yeah, this is the one that we're looking forward to.
Bro,
Put a lot of time into this. So
this is great, bro. This is incredible.
If we see the branding on APG's new strain, we'll know where it came from. But that's going to be APG's choices for fragrance, lotion, or weed.
That was fun. And it's been a fun podcast, but we're not done yet. We got one final segment. Brad, these are the quick cues portion. You've watched the podcast. You know what this is. We're just going to start letting it rip. What are your settings?
Bumper jumper, 3XL, and then horizontal is 4.5, and my vertical is 5. Sometimes on land, I would switch it up and go up 1. I would go to 5, and then I would go to 5 horizontal and then 5.5 vertical. And my dead zones, I do not know. I cannot tell you.
Wow.
I play on like my offsets are like -100, -100, 100, and then I have my reticle stuff turned all the way up, and then I play with yellow enemies, purple team.
Less head casing when you don't even know what your dead zones are. So I respect that. What kind of controller are you on?
I have a custom scuff. So my scuff has no pedals, and they make this custom for. It was just for me, but I'm pretty sure they make it for more players first. But I was or more players now, but I was the first. Very happy to still be working with them. Use code APG for 5% off.
Snuck it in there.
But yeah, I just custom scuff, no pedals, nothing, just normal because I claw.
Makes sense for someone who's been playing it for 20 years. You didn't have any options to put paddles on the back then.
No.
This is going to be interesting. Who's on your Mount Rushmore of Halo all time?
Lethal, Cougar, say Snakebite and Royal 2 are one person, so Snakebite plus Royal 2, and then Ola.
Good list.
What's a Halo hot take? I feel like you've shared a lot, but what's a Halo hot take that might have you roasted on social media for?
Can't get carried to a win. What else?
Like that. I know you be reading Twitch chat and the Twitter comments from time to time, and yeah, a salute to you, man, because I think some of the comments I've read about a man APG are just absolutely audacious.
I have had to stop casting, reading Twitch chat, and just call out people for saying faded shit about you before. Literally mid-cast, I'm like, you clearly do not understand Halo because you just cannot comprehend what this man is doing on the map for his team. So just stop typing if you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Those are the kids that look at the post-game KD and are just like, oh, he's the worst player. And I'm like...
Bro, number one, I appreciate you guys. That's first and foremost. Number two, it's just... Bro, especially, bro, like in this game, like, do you think somebody's getting carried to a win versus these people? Renegade, Frosty, Snakebite Roll 2, Eco, Stellar, Bound,
Penguin, Trippy, Lucid. I mean,
it's not possible at all. Like, these people are playing some incredible Halo, and you have to be playing incredible Halo too. And there's so many more things that go into Halo besides just the stats. It could be like your team's preparation, like your team's cohesion, how you guys are feeling that morning, like making sure you guys are locked in, bro. There's so many other factors that play into actually a successful team that nobody thinks of. They just think that you're just gonna show up and you just play and you're good and you just win. It doesn't happen. There's a lot of good teams. We just saw SSG that don't just win because you're good. You have to have the other factors, the other intangibles, and that's what I think that I bring to the table, no matter what roster it is. But I think that people just kind of negate that fact and say that, like, I saw somebody say that anybody else could have been on that OpTic roster, they would have won Worlds. I'm like, well, I guess we'll never know. We'll never know. But I know we do know one thing, that I was on it and we did win Worlds, and that we know that we were a great team. And I didn't do it alone, bro. I did it because I did my 25%, and my team believed in me to do it, bro. They believed in me to be that player to help them get across the finish line, and that's what I really do appreciate the most from them. Going back to that first time that I spoke to them when I was trying to get on the team before we were even OpTic to winning a world championship afterwards. You know, like Trippy, like I've become such close friends with Joey, you know, from that time period because we grew so much as people and as friends, as players, everything. We moved to Dallas together, or we uprooted our lives. He came from Cali, I came from Florida. We moved to Dallas to be close to the OpTic HQ. And it changed our lives, like, and we're still friends to this day. We go out, we hang out, everything. Like I'm very blessed, bro. I'm very blessed, and I don't even mind like people saying that stuff, to be honest, because at the end of the day, I have this chain on my neck and I have a ring on my desk. Like, what can they say about that? They can say everything they want about carry this, that, and the third. At the end of the day, I still did it, so it doesn't matter.
I can promise you one thing. If Makowski was on that team, they would not have won. Just saying.
I appreciate that.
I'm the barometer. What the hell did I do?
No, if I'm on the team, I still consider myself pretty good. But if I'm on the team, we're not winning either. So, just saying.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
You're definitely better on the desk. What's been your favorite weapon throughout Halo?
BR.
Which title? 2 or 3 or Infinite?
I really fuck with the Infinite BR. Like I fuck with it heavy in season 1, season 2. I fuck with it heavy. I was really happy when I knew that it was going to be a BR in this game.
Yeah. Infinite did an incredible job remastering the classic feel of Halo's BR in a modern landscape. Really curious about these next 2 questions. It might be tough for you to answer, but who's been your favorite duo?
I would say I can't say favorite duo because I got like 2. It's gonna be Lethal and Formal, but I'd say like my favorite teammate because of what we've accomplished and you know everything. It's both of them. Both of them are my favorite teammates next to Snakebite as well. But I'd say Formal because I've teamed with Matt and you know the lessons I learned you know from as a teammate from him, seeing him now as a veteran compared to when we teamed beforehand back in like 2014 and seeing how much he's just progressed as a human being. And like he's not just a veteran, he's a winner. I think there's a difference between somebody that's just playing a while and somebody that's actually winning. You know, I said it earlier too. He is an incredible teammate, and you know when you're on stage, you feel like you're really about to win with him. You know, I'm with him consistently. We're talking all the time, and it was a pleasure to team with him. Also TJ as well. TJ I've won in many different Halos. I've won in many different Halos with Matt too. TJ and Snakebite. They gave me the opportunity to be on talks in between that time period of Halo 5 to Halo Infinite, and I learned so much. I learned how to be a winner with them. If it wasn't for them, I would have not gotten on OpTic, and I wouldn't have accomplished everything I have in the past few years. So I give them all the credit, and I would not be here without their guidance, their leadership, and their friendship.
Very well said. Who's been your most heated rival, though, on the flip side of that coin?
In a pro player?
Yeah, like a guy that... Not necessarily that you hate to play against, but almost in an odd way you love to because you know it's about to be a bloodbath.
Lethal.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I say Lethal.
I think TJ would love to know. I think you get a kick out of you mentioning him as your favorite rival and duo. I love it.
It's a good, like, I guess, duality. Yeah.
No, the duality of man and life. Again, a common theme throughout today's episode. What was your favorite Halo title?
Halo 3. Halo 3 without a doubt.
I think that one gets brought up more often than any other, and it's so hard to choose because there's been a lot of good Halos. And then last but not least, you touched on this in the podcast, but we'll let you wrap it up with this. Fondest Halo memory?
Worlds, my parents. And you know what sucks is they were there for the second Worlds too. So that's like the most sad one too. Is that they saw us just blow it. In that fashion. So it was best and worst, just like in a year apart. But definitely my parents being able to get to an event after so many years and seeing me win and just being proud of me. You know, I mentioned I don't even know if I mentioned that I was like, or I'm a senior at University of Central Florida. I moved out to Dallas when I became a senior, and my major is economics. I started off in industrial engineering, but I switched to economics before COVID hit. And I was thinking about going back to school. I had a full ride from USF to go back for a collegiate Halo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I just decided it wasn't the time.
What year was this?
Last year.
This is last year? Wow.
I moved from Florida in 2021. but I got the offer for Collegiate Halo last year. But Chobo from Halo 2, he is like the head of University of South Florida Esports, but I'm at University of Central Florida, and I would have had to transfer and all this other shit, make sure my credits work, all that stuff. Yeah. So I decided this wasn't the time. He said that it was also still like on the table, and he actually went to bat for me to get that full ride, opposed to just like some books and a couple classes. So I really do appreciate that,
dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. I'm blessed too. I'm blessed for that. So my parents, because I got an opportunity to play Collegiate Halo, and I told my parents, and they told me not to do it because they wanted me to continue doing what I was doing. When I first moved to Dallas, when they were nervous at first because they didn't know how it would be. They supported me, but they were just nervous at first because I was doing so well in school, and school's all about momentum. And they saw me in a Best Buy ad. OpTic did like a photo shoot for Razer, and they did like a little pamphlet or little showcase where it was like me, Scump, Formal, and Faker, I think, or somebody like that.
I saw it.
And yeah, thank you. And then it was in every Best Buy around the nation, and I got to tell my parents back in Florida, "Yo, go to your Best Buy, you can see me." And when they saw that, they were like, "This is really cool." They that's when they started wanting to come to events again and everything. So it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. A lot of cool opportunities have led me to this point right here.
Absolutely sick, man. That will just about do it for easily the most jam-packed, but my God, sickest episode we've had at Ty the Leader, and we've had all the GOATs, all the legends, man. This has been truly a pleasure to be a part of the journey all the way through and to get to celebrate some of that success that you've had along the way. Before we wrap things up, though, Brad, I want to turn the floor over to you and share any final thoughts.
I just want to say thank you to you guys again. I know this was a long-ass episode. I know I kept you guys yapping for a while. I'm very sorry. I
don't apologize.
I told you guys beforehand. Bro. It's always nice speaking to you guys. We always can go off on tangents just about old Halo, new Halo, time periods, everything. I want to say thank you to my family, my supporters, my community, Alyssa. Again, you guys, everybody that has believed in me, Nick, OpTic, everybody that's believed in me and helping me get to the point that I'm in today. Broward, Breezy, my editors, Ryan, Leezy, Natives videographer.
Oh yeah,
just a lot of people that I'm very grateful for, and I just want to say thank you, and I'm very excited for the future, and I hope to just keep on just building and growing. That's my main focus. So make sure you guys follow me at twitter.com/apuregangster. YouTube is at OpTic APG. And Twitch is APG. I'm basically live every day, so please follow the stream. And yeah, I appreciate you guys. Come through, ask any question that is on your mind, anything you would like to know. BTH tryouts will probably be done by the time this episode is out, but there's a lot of other ideas I have going forward for tournaments and whatnot, so just be on the lookout. And again, thank you guys so much for the support recently. I'm extremely grateful, and again, I don't take any of this for granted. I'm very blessed, and I'm very grateful to live the life I live, and I couldn't do it without you guys' support. So thank you guys so much.
Well, we'll make sure to include those links in the description. That way you can make the APG stream part of your morning routine, just like me and Eli do. If you guys enjoyed the episode, make sure to subscribe, ring the bell, all that YouTube stuff. We just recently launched a dedicated Hide the Leader YouTube channel, and we've already soared past, I think, 1,200 subs in just a few weeks. So really cool to see a game like Halo in year 4 that seems to have some type of a resurgence around content and interest in the narrative and storylines of incredible people like APG. But that will do it for APG, the world champ, the legend, the OG, and my duo, Eli the Ninja. I'm Makowski. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you guys in the next one.
Look at your ping, up in your fire. No, P1, blue street. Fire, no, pink, the pink side. Nice. Yellow jet, one shot. Absolute. Yellow jet. Absolute pick one, honey, win. Absolute pick one. Absolutely win. Let's go! Wow! That's what I'm talking about.